In addition to adequate notice under the Open Public Meetings Act, electronic notice of this remote public meeting as is permitted under NJSA 1049.3 and was placed on the City of Newark website. Members of the public can make public comments by audio or by audio and video as permitted by the Zoom electronic communication platform. Now, while in this Zoom meeting, press on Raise Hand on the bottom left corner of your computer screen or mobile device. Raise hands allows participants to notify the host that they would like to speak without interrupting them. If you are calling in, press star 9 on your telephone to raise your hand. Central Planning Board will be mindful of a number of items on the agenda and will move as expeditiously as possible to complete the agenda. However, due to the amount of development requiring board review and the complexity of some projects, it may not be possible to hear every item if the meeting runs later than 11 p.m. In the event that the agenda is not completed by 11 tonight, the board will finish hearing the applications that are in the process of listening to, but no new applications will be called after that item is complete. Any applications that were not heard by that time will be rescheduled to the earliest available date, which will be announced on the record if possible. The meeting of the Newark Central Planning Board will now come call to order. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Commissioner Jordan, we have as absent. Commissioner Byers.
Guys, you can run Kingdom just launched.
Commissioner Purdy, we have as absent.
Kingdom has
Commissioner Timmons.
Robert.
Present.
Thank you, Commissioner Timmons. Let me just promote Commissioner Purdy. Commissioner Scott Roundtree, we have as absent. Commissioner De Silva, we have as absent. Commissioner Purdy, I see you joined. If you don't mind staying present.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner James, we have as absent. Commissioner Austin.
Present.
Co-Chair Witcher.
Present.
Chair Richardson.
Here.
We have a quorum, Chair.
Thank you. Let's move to the adjournments. Well, we don't know about number 1, right?
We'll move to number 4.
Go to number 4, CPB 25-33, 250-252 Orange Street. Ms. Marsha Moore.
Should be joining us now, Chair. There she is.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members and professionals. My name is Marsha Moore from the law firm of Post Pollock on behalf of 134-130 Sussex Avenue, LLC. The item, as you mentioned, is number 4 on the agenda, CPB 25-33, 250-252 Orange Street. We are asking for an adjournment. We are in receipt of some reports and numerous reports, and we want an opportunity to review those reports with our professionals. So I'm asking that the matter be carried and preserving our notices.
How long do you think you need?
Believe the next available date is September 22nd, which is acceptable to the applicant based on Madam Secretary.
Okay, duly noted, and your notice will be preserved. And we will see you September 27th. Have a good evening.
22nd, Chair.
22nd, September
22nd,
22nd.
okay.
No notices, no sign will be sent out.
Understood. Thank you. So we don't know about number 1, so we're going to move to.
Chair, number 1, yes.
Okay, let's go to number 1. CPB 24-105, 331-345 Meeker Avenue. Mr. Velozzi.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. Noemi Velozzi on the application CPB 24-105 for 331-345 Meeker Ave. Mr. Chairman, as the board is aware on this matter, there was a change in the zoning, which is my understanding is going before City Council tomorrow to undo what was done. So I need an adjournment so that we can hear this after the City Council supposedly does what I was told they would do.
Understood. How much time do you need, sir?
Mr. Chairman, late September or after is fine with us, only because my secretary is going on vacation for 3 weeks and I'm a mess without her.
Okay, Madam Secretary, you wanna schedule this for October? What do you wanna do?
We do have another space on the 22nd, but if you want to just be safe, we can put it to the following hearing. Let me
Which
just
is
get-
October what?
Let me get the exact date. 1 second, Chair. Of course, it's not coming up. I believe it's October 8th. It's October 6th.
October sixth, Mr. Velozzi, your notice will be preserved, and we will see you then, my good man.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a good evening.
You too, take care. All right, let's move to CPB 25-27, 457-461 Washington Street. Mr. Webster.
Maybe Jody's doing it. I'm gonna bring in Jody because I don't see it in her. Good evening, Ms. Luciani. Are you representing the applicant tonight?
Mr. Webster should be appearing on behalf of the applicant. If he is not present, I will reach out to him. If not, I can start. Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members of the board.
Good evening.
Yeah, I don't see him on Miss Luciani. If you want us to go to the next one and maybe come back.
He's joining the meeting.
Well, Ms. Luciani, while he's joining, can you confirm your team? Because I see a bunch of people's hand raised. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, so board secretary, our engineer is Adam Kadil, our architect is Ephraim Gobriel, and our planner this evening is John McDonough. And we also have our traffic engineer, which is Craig Paraguay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Is he gonna join today? Or is he waiting for the next meeting?
I don't. He said he was joining. He might be having technical difficulties, but if he's not, I'll begin. So we can move forward. If you just give me a minute to pull everything up, and I will start. Okay. Again, good evening, members of the board. Chairman, thank you for your patience just now. My name is Jody Luciani. I'm a partner with the law firm of Connell Foley, which is located at 1085 Raymond Boulevard, 19th floor, Newark, New Jersey. And we represent Washington Street Apartments LLC, which is the applicant for this project before you. It's located at 457-461 Washington Street, which is referred to as Block 115, lots 21, 22.
Okay. Jody just started.
23 on the tax map of the city of Newark. The property is located within the Lincoln Park redevelopment plan area, and it is governed by the Lincoln Park redevelopment plan. The property is approximately 5,400 square feet, and it consists currently of a vacant paved over lot with some broken asphalt. The site is a corner lot. It has frontage on Washington Street and Governor Street. And again, the project is located in the Lincoln Park redevelopment plan, the Washington Street level mixed zoning district, where storefront mixed-use buildings are a permitted building type, and this is what we have here. Consistent with the goals of the plan, the applicant is before you this evening seeking preliminary and final site plan approval to construct a new 6-story mixed-use multifamily building, which will have 30 residential dwelling units and approximately 750 square feet of retail space on the ground floor. We have been working actively, and we've been engaged with the Lincoln Park Cultural District on this project. We've held meetings and discussions throughout the planning process with them. And as a demonstration of our commitment to the community, the applicant is partnering with the Lincoln Park Coastal Cultural District, giving them a lease of that ground floor retail space at no cost.
Counsel, if I might just interrupt,
Yes.
I just received a phone call from Mr. Webster. He is available and ready to be joined. He has raised his hand, and I don't know whether our secretary can join him, but he has been sitting on the sidelines and ready to go. So I don't know whether our secretary can pull him back in.
Is it this 950262 number? It's not a phone number. It's just 950262.
That is him. That's
Okay.
him.
That's why I thought it was a member of the public. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this 950. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I apologize. I've been here, but I guess I wasn't recognized because of the strange moniker. I know Jody did the first half. I'm just gonna pick up where she left off. The applicant has actively engaged with the community. We've had several community meetings. We worked with the Lincoln Park Cultural District, and we worked so hard together that we've actually decided to allow them, in addition to our affordable requirement, we've actually made a deal with them that we're going to work with them to give them a 30-year dollar per year lease for the small commercial space that's in the front of the building. We have a good amount of relief that's requested, and we're going to go through that with both our planning and our engineer and our architect. We are asking for insufficient glazing, bulk height, parking, bedroom sizes on a few of the units, drive aisle width, and shade tree, and structured parking. We're complying with the city's affordable housing ordinance and set aside. We are providing the 20% affordable at the inclusionary zoning levels. Our engineer will testify to the specifics of the ground floor layout and demonstrate how the applicant will meet the EVSE and make ready space and number requisite bicycles. We were in receipt of a number of reports, Mr. Chairman. We were in receipt of a completeness review letter prepared by the board planner dated May 28th, 2025. And I guess to that, hey, Susan, haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. We're also in receipt of a water and sewer memorandum dated July 24th. We're in receipt of an engineering review letter dated July 23rd and a planning review report dated July 24th. Our professionals will stipulate during testimony that the applicant will work to satisfy or address most of the conditions, and we will highlight the very few that we have some questions about. Notice is proper. We provided notice to the board secretary, and we provided notice to the newspaper of record and to all property owners within 200 feet of the property. I have with me this evening, Mr. Chairman, 4 witnesses. Adam Candill, my engineer, Ephraim Gobriel, my architect, Craig Paraguay, my traffic engineer, and John McDonough. I do believe most of these folks have been before this board before. But my first witness this evening, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, will be Adam Candill.
Yep, let's get him sworn in, Mr. Beck.
Good evening. Do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give this board shall be truthful?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation for the board.
Yeah, Adam Candill, licensed professional civil engineer and director of Daytel Engineering.
Thank you. Counsel, please qualify your witness.
Yeah, Mr. Candill, would you please provide the board briefly with your training and experience? Also, indicate whether you've appeared before this board or other boards in Newark, and also whether your license is in good standing.
Certainly. So, graduate of Rutgers School of Engineering, over 20 years of experience in civil engineering, licensed in New Jersey, New York, and other states. And I have appeared in front of this board as well as several boards across the state, as well as in Essex County.
And your board,
Mr. Candill, is
your
your
license is current? License current and good standing?
Yes, my license is current in good standing.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Mr.
Thank
Candill,
you.
I'm going to ask you to share your screen with the board and walk them through the location of the property, its existing condition, and then let's go to the proposed condition.
Certainly. So I'm gonna start with the cover sheet. As council has already discussed, we are looking to propose a 6-story multi or mixed residential building with 30 units. This is on the cover sheet. We are not in the flood zone. This is the flood zone map. And with regards to bulk requirements, we are conforming with all bulk requirements with the exception of parking. Just for the record, I'm going to go through the lot. So we are on the subject property is lot 21, 22, and 23 of block 115, which we're looking to consolidate collectively to create a lot that is 5,395 square feet, 0.124 acres. The minimum lot size is 900 square feet, where we have 5,395 minimum lot width, 15 feet where 64.02 is provided, lot depth 60 where 79.5 is provided. With regards to the front, both front yards, first front yard, second front yard, rear yard, and side yard, 0 is required, 0 is provided. With regards to maximum percentage of lot, 100% is allowed, 92.93 coverage, 92.93% is provided, whereas for impervious coverage, 100% is allowed, where 100% is utilized. Regarding the maximum height, 6 stories and 70 feet high is allowed, whereas 6 stories and 68.5 feet is provided. Discussing the variance that we're requesting, 30 spaces, 1 space per dwelling unit is required, whereas 6 spaces are provided. Therefore, we're requesting relief. The unit count is here on the plans provided, and also the architect will go through that as well. But 5 studio, 10 1-bedroom, 15 2 bedrooms, for a total of 30 bedrooms, 30 units. The minimum driveway spacing from the corner intersection of a non-signalized is 25 feet. We're 40 feet away. We'll get into more parking as I also go through the site plan and walk you through it. But we do have 2 standard parking spaces that are 8.5 by 18, whereas the EV spaces are 9 by 18, and the ADA space is compliant. And I'm going to continue. I'll wait until I get to the site plan to also walk through that as well. But also with the bike parking, 30 spaces are required. We're providing 30 as well. And the lighting requirements I'll also show as we navigate through the site plan package. Moving on to the existing conditions or demolition plan, which is the submitted CO2 plan. I'm not sure if we need to introduce as an exhibit, but it is the CO2 that has been submitted as part of the submission package. Just showing the 3 lots mainly developed with broken asphalt throughout the property. And there's also a billboard sign up here that we are proposing to remove. Along the roadway, there is also a fence that protrudes into the right of way that will be removed, and we're doing just some saw cutting and trench removal for utility connections that we'll be doing along Governor, and then also on Washington, we'll be doing some saw cut and removal of pavement just to put in a new sidewalk and curb just along the frontage over there. Continuing on to the site plan. As was discussed, we are proposing a total of 6 parking spaces, 1 van accessible ADA space up on the top upper left, and then 3 EV make-ready parking spaces. The handicap space is a conforming 8 foot wide with an 8-foot aisle, whereas the EV is 9 foot is this one, and the standard spaces are 8.5 foot wide. And as we'll get through the comments, one of the comments was about relocating, or that the EV spaces be 9. So that's something that we were talking about, maybe relocating these 2 spaces to these 9-foot spaces over here. With regards to circulation, it is 2-way circulation. So vehicles will be coming from right to left on Governor, which is a 1-way street with the ability to make a right into the site, look for a parking spot. If there's no parking spaces, as you'll see from my vehicle tracking, they will make a K-turn, exit the site with their face. Coming out of the site, it's restricted to a right only sign and a stop sign. And at the gate will be a roll-up mesh door. We are redoing the driveway apron with a conforming meeting the city of Newark's requirements for the construction of a depressed curb concrete curb cut. And in addition, we will be milling and overlaying the entire roadway on Governor up until the intersection due to the utility connections that we have over there. Furthermore, trash and refuge will be collected internally within the building. So it'll be collected within the building and stored in the trash room here, where it'll be rolled out and has the ability to be rolled out through the garage door. And in addition, as we were talking about, this is the interaction. So there's no interaction with this garage to the retail space. However, for the residents, there is a front door coming to the front, and there's also a door going to the garage by the handicap space. This is a minor discrepancy, which you'll see on the architectural plan. This area is actually to be straightened off, not to be bumped out, and this door to be eliminated. This was just something that came up just for consistency. I just wanted to bring it up in testimony. Aside from that, street trees, 4 street trees were provided or required as per our TRC meeting that we had on May 28, 2025. Because of our site triangle here, and for cars to make a right, they have to be able to look in the left direction. So based off that site triangle, we initially were going to propose a tree here. We eliminated that, but we do have a tree here, and we have 3 trees along Washington. So we overcompensated for the trees along Washington Street. Continuing on, the curb cut width is 20 foot, and the garage door opening is also 20 foot to align with the same width. And then as we come into the building, we increase to 22 feet to allow for better maneuverability of the cars and the ability to make a K-turn. So that's with regards to the circulation. We do have the bicycle racks, so we do have bicycle racks in this corner. We have bicycle racks in the back. As a result of our our vehicle turning for the vehicles, we noticed that these 4 racks do get they do obstruct the turning. So what we did is we worked with the architects to relocate those over here, and we basically just rotated them down here, and that works in this area to provide. So overall, we are providing the 30 bicycle racks that are needed, and here are the EV spaces where these 2 will be relocated to these two spaces, ultimately still providing 3. Continuing on, unless there's any questions, I'm going to continue on to the grading, drainage, and utility plan. As the property does under existing conditions, the site drains from the high point is where my cursor is on Governor Street and continues east towards the intersection of Washington, and then also drains down towards Washington Street in the northern direction under existing conditions. We're maintaining the existing conditions and the drainage patterns. This area is completely enclosed, so the water is being collected by a roof drain system that is being routed to above the roof to a green roof system where it's maintaining and holding the water quality storm, and the additional runoff then overflows into the roof drain collection, which then comes down to an underground system. So it's essentially a closed area, but it's taking the roof runoff from the roofs and conveying it to an underground system, meeting the city of Newark's major development requirements and meeting all the reductions for the city of Newark by 2 54.5 feet long, 30-inch diameter HDP underground pipes. And through that, it's going to an outlet structure prior to discharging out to the combined system in the roadway. With regards to the combined system, we do have a separate sanitary connection that is making a separate connection. And we also have gas being connected on Governor, as well as electric and water. Also a separate line for both domestic and fire protection for water. This is for the utilities. And essentially that's everything with regards to the stormwater. We're grading it in a way to allow the low point to come to the outlet structure. No water comes from outside to inside because of the grate, but in the event it does, we do have a low point to collect it in the outlet structure. Continuing on to our soil erosion and sediment control. I won't bore you with this, but we are meeting soil erosion and sediment control for the entire site. Tracking pad, silt fence, tree protection fence, and we're meeting the standards for both Hudson, Essex, as well as Newark. Continuing on to the landscaping plan, we are providing the street trees, the 4 required street trees, which will coordinate with the arborist of the city. If any changes or modifications they would like to be made, we will be working very closely with the city's arborist if they would like any modifications. But for the most part, that is where we are. And although we do have some greenery, green roof, recreational vegetation on top of the roof, conservatively, we're not analyzing that as on-site landscaping, although it does exist. But I will leave that for the architect to discuss that as well. Lighting, we are meeting the city's requirements with regards to lighting of on the west property line. We're maintaining 0.3 foot candles, and at the main entrance, there might be a couple spots, and we'll be working with engineering that might be slightly over, but the intent is certainly to comply. So we might have 1 or 2 spots that are over, so we'll be working with our lighting expert to comply, and we will be complying with the city's ordinance with regards to lighting and foot candles at the main sidewalk on both Washington and Governor, and making sure that we do, and we currently have no spillage to the neighbors on either side. So we will comply with the lighting there. And beyond that, really going into construction details, but I won't bore the board with that technical details, but if there are any questions, I'd be glad to answer any questions from the board and or professionals.
Adam, I just have one more thing. Could you just talk a little about how we're handling the refuse?
Yeah. So inside, we're handling the refuge through the trash room, which is collected internally, and they would basically roll it out through this door opening and then roll it out to the curbside for pickup.
Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions for this witness.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, questions or comments for the
Chair,
engineer? Mr. Trafficante.
Chair, before he goes, if I may, Mr. Webster or Mr. Kendall, if you could let me know the date of these plans, because I don't believe the board has this.
This is dated 5/30/2025.
So can we mark these as an exhibit, because we don't have this set as exhibit A1?
I'm sure we can, but we do have a transmittal letter to your office with these plans, but I'm happy to mark them.
Thank you.
We'll provide that to you tomorrow, but we did submit them. But let me
Okay.
mark them. We'll mark it as A1.
Okay, thank you.
And really to clarify, that new submission was as a result of the TRC meeting on 5/28 and in response to questions from the professionals, and so this was the 5/30 in response to comments that we received at the technical review committee.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
Let's get Mr. Trafficante sworn in. Mr. Beck.
Mr. Trafficante, do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give this board shall be truthful?
I do.
Please just state your name and your title.
My name is Charles Trafficante. I'm a principal engineer and a professional engineer. Employment in the city of Newark, Department of Engineering. My license is active and in good standing.
Thank you, sir. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Mr. Candle, in the engineer's report to the planning board dated July 23rd, on page 2, item Roman numeral 4, item 1, Roman numeral 4. Survey shows an existing vinyl fence on concrete wall that runs along the common property line between subject lots 23, 22, 21, block 115, and adjoining lot 24, block 115, located to the west, which encroach into the subject site by as much as 0.6 feet. Applicant and property owner shall provide testimony to the board as to who this existing vinyl fence and concrete wall belongs to, and should it belong to the property owner of adjoining lot 24, what approvals, easements exist within subject lots 23, 22, and 21 to allow this existing vinyl fence on wall to remain where and as it is. Should no approvals, easements exist, applicant shall provide additional testimony to the board as to the future disposition of this existing vinyl fence on concrete wall encroachment, should the board approve this application. Can you answer that?
Yeah, so any existing fence that is on site or along our frontage within the right of way, if encroaching, will be removed as by the applicant.
What about adjoining properties?
Adjoining property, we would not, the fence on the adjoining property is to remain.
All right. Do you know of any easements, any rights any adjoining property owners have to allow for that fence or wall to encroach into this property?
Not that I'm aware of as per the survey, and I would defer to council if there's any easements, but none that were shown on the survey of record.
All right. All right. And likewise, next item. Same thing. Survey shows a final fence that runs along the common side yard property line between subject lot 21 and adjoining lot 19 located to the north, which encroach into the subject lot 21 by as much as 0.3 feet. Applicant property owner shall provide testimony to the board as to who this fence belongs to. It should belong to the property owner of adjoining lot 19, block 115. What approvals, easements exist when subject lot 21 to allow this final fence to remain where and as it is. Should no approvals easements exist, applicant shall provide additional testimony to the board as to the future disposition of this existing vinyl fence encroachment, should the board approve this application. Again, another fence. Do you
Yep.
know who that belongs to, and if it's the adjoining property owner, do you know if they have any approvals or easements granted to them to allow for that fence to remain where and as it is?
As for the survey, also not sure, but what is on our site, we are proposing to remove, and then the portion beyond our site, we would keep it for the adjoining property owner to dispose or remove
All right.
or
so-
maintain.
All right, so only the portion that approaches into your site will be removed and the rest is to remain?
That's correct.
You will contact the adjoining property owner to discuss that, right?
Certainly, prior to construction.
All right, all right. No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions or comments? Hearing none. Next witness.
My next witness is Ephraim Gobriel, from, MR Gobriel Architects.
Let's get him sworn
Hi,
in.
good evening.
Yes, good evening. Do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation to this application.
My name is Ephraim Gobriel. I'm a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey and a few other states. My education background, I went to NJIT. I have a bachelor degree in architecture, and my license is current and is in good standing.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Ms. Gobriel, would you please share the screen with the board and its professionals and walk them through the plan that you submitted?
Absolutely. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. This is a presentation that we prepared. It's the same exact elevations and floor plans, just in a presentation format. So I'd like to mark this as an exhibit, please.
We'll mark this entire package as A2.
All right. So I'll start from the top. As we already know, this project 457-461 Washington Street is a corner lot. It's located at the corner of Washington Street and Governor Street. This is a quick rendering of the building, which I'll come back to it. Another plan showing that this lot is located in the redevelopment plan of Lincoln Park. And this is another site plan showing the roof amenities and the green roof areas that we are going to present shortly also on the roof plan. Moving along here, I'm going to get back to the elevations, but I'd like to start with the floor plans here. So starting at the first floor, just to orient you again, this is Washington on the right-hand side here, and this is Governor. The first floor is divided into utilities, retail, parking, and residential lobby. The lot is located on a steep slope along Governor. So actually, if you're standing here and you're gonna go up. The more you go in Governor, there's about 5-foot difference in elevation between this point here of the building and the point on the right-hand side along Washington. The retail store is approximately 750 square feet, as well as some utility rooms here, as indicated in gray. 2 means of egress. The stair towers, as well as one stretch compliant elevator, and the parking garage, which is accessed from Governor through a 20-foot wide garage overhead door. We are providing 30 30 bike spaces on this ground floor, as well as the trash room that the civil engineer just testified about. And from here, this is the residential lobby as well from Governor. Civil engineer, Mr. Adam, just talked about a door that's being eliminated. The reason being is that because of the slope, and I'll show you the elevation in a second on that street, because of the slope, it's very steep. So to resolve this issue, we had to put a ramp that's 4%, that has a 4% slope here, entering through the
Okay, so
garage.
I really, so. Good.
Hey, please,
Adam,
hold on one
please.
second. Please mute your devices if you're not talking. You're having side conversations. Put yourself on mute, please. Thank you. Please continue.
No problem. So because of that steep slope, this door at this location wasn't really possible because of how close it is to this door. So just to be clear, I'm gonna pull up this. This is the elevation along Governor. As you see here, it's very steep. There's a 5-foot difference between this point in the building and the street, Washington here. So this door was not really possible. Plus, it's a very tight space with between the structural columns and the slope. We couldn't really make this door happen. I looked at the building code, and we are in compliance. We are allowed to have 1 meter of egress from that garage through the stair because we didn't exceed the threshold for occupancy since it's a small garage. Moving on to the typical floor plan. So this building has a total of 30 units, 30 residential units. We designed 5 studios, 10 1-bedrooms, and 15 2-bedrooms. The average area as listed here, 468 square foot average per studio, and 652 for the 1-bedrooms and 794 for the 2-bedrooms. Our bedrooms, speaking of bedrooms, our bedrooms, the smallest bedroom is roughly 124 square feet. We may be one of the comments in the review memo. It was the minimum width of the bedroom. We do comply with the building code. However, the zoning requires a 10-foot minimum by 11. We have some rooms that's slightly below 10, just a few inches below 10, so it's about 9 and 9.6, 9.7, around that. However, we compensated by making these rooms a bit longer, achieving the minimum required size bedroom, and we're actually beyond that. As I mentioned, it's 124 square foot, the smallest bedroom. The typical floor plan here, we have a studio on that side. This is Washington again here. We got a studio here. That corner unit is a 2-bedroom. This is another 2-bedroom on the other side. So all the green here is 2 bedrooms. And these 2 units are 1-bedroom. The units are designed and equipped with full-size appliances and full-size washer and dryer in each unit. They're also equipped with plenty of storage. Almost every unit has walk-in closets. Moving on to the roof plan, we are providing a green roof, as you see here, where there's no other function on the roof. So whatever we were able to, we provided as green roof. We covered it in green roof. We do have a nice amenity space here on top, outdoor amenity space with a pergola, which I have a rendering to show you for that area. And the gray areas that I indicated here, these are simply the mechanical areas, which are all of them are screened within a 4-foot board and board fence. On the there's a lobby here to access the elevator. So the elevator and the 2 stair towers go all the way up to the roof in compliance with the International Building Code. I provided in this exhibit, there was a question about details for the roof trays. So I have a detail here, simple roof trays over APDM roofing and tapered insulation. The total green roof area is it covers about 30. Let me actually double check that. I don't want to misspeak. I think it was about 35% of coverage. Yes, 35% of the roof, of the usable roof area is covered in green roof. The deck is roughly 950 square feet, and this is accessed only by the tenants, the building tenants. Moving on to the units. So we are providing affordable units, and just I want to show you sample units. This is just a typical 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and studio. I'm not going to bother you too much in depth with the details, but it's very straightforward. You walk in, you have the kitchen, spacious living room. It's almost 11-foot wide here, by about 12 or 13-foot long, and a nice sized bedroom with a walk-in closet and an accessible adaptable bathroom. The 2-bedroom, very similar with the additional bedroom, of course. So you and 1 additional bathroom here. So you walk in, you have the kitchen, the living room, and then you have the 2 bedrooms here. And one of them is a master with a very nice closet space. Both bedrooms have the luxury of having a nice walk-in closet. Again, full size washer and dryer, water heater in the unit, and the fully adaptable bathroom. And the studio, we have again a nice closet here for the studio, living and sleeping area, plus the kitchen here, and again the full size appliances and a full compliant bathroom. These are this is one of the renderings. This is a night shot, and in this shot, actually, you see the condition in the street. You see the Governor Street is going up, sloping up. This is what we envision to be there. It's a mix of very simple material, the Chiha panels, that is the wood colored panels here, and the corrugated metal panels, and the black trim windows, and a very nice storefront here for the retail space. This is a nice, this is another close-up shot from Washington taken to the retail space with a possible sign that we envision here at this location. And again, this is the rooftop. That's the pergola that I mentioned earlier. These are the material that we use, like I mentioned, corrugated metal panels, the Nichia panels, and on the non-facing side, it will be gray vinyl siding. And that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Ephraim. Mr. Chairman, I don't have any further questions for this witness.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions or comments?
I think it's a nice building.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's got a good look to it. No questions?
Thank you.
Next witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My next witness is Craig Paragoy. Craig is my traffic engineer. I'd like to have him sworn in if possible.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Paraguay. You solemnly swear the testimony about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation for the record.
Sure. My name is Craig Paragoy, Peregoy. I'm with Dynamic Traffic.
Mr. Chairman, Craig has been a frequent witness here, probably done 50 or 100 hearings with me. But Craig, is your license current and in good standing?
It is, yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd offer Mr. Paraguay.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you.
Now, only if you're gonna tell us there's something wrong with the traffic.
He won't be testifying then. Craig, I know you've had a report that you've submitted to the engineering department and the traffic department, and you were obviously there for our TRC meeting. Could you just walk the board through the salient points, and then I'm sure Charlie will have some questions.
Sure. Yeah, our report looked at the traffic impacts and the parking. I'll just very quickly touch on the traffic impacts. Using the ITE, or the Institute of Transportation Engineers data, which is what we use to project traffic volumes. Here we're using, it's called a mid-rise residential with ground floor commercial space, so it covers that small office space on the ground floor. This would generate during peak hours, like the weekday morning and evening rush hour time periods, a maximum of 8 trips. Typically, you do a traffic study and find out, Mr. Chairman, if there was a traffic issue when you generate 100 or more trips. So this is a very small traffic generator. Certainly not significant, not something that you notice from the next day. The engineering review letter of our analysis also agrees with that conclusion. Primarily what we did look at is the parking. Obviously, we were providing 6 parking spaces, and the requirement in the Lincoln Park redevelopment plan, there's 2 standards. There's a half a space per bedroom, which comes to 23 spaces here, or 1 per unit, which would be 30 spaces. We have the 3 EV spaces, which reduces that based on the state law. So it's either 20 by bedrooms or 27 by units that are required. So since we are asking for a parking variance, and the only reason that we are is just the size of this property. 5,000 square feet or less requires no parking. We're at 5,387 or something like that. So we're just barely over. So there's no sliding scale. It's either no parking or this full parking. What's interesting is if I look at the census data for this specific area, the actual reported vehicle ownership is 0.46 vehicles per dwelling per household. So that would come to 14 spaces. So the city's requirement is a little bit higher. But nevertheless, Mr. Trafficante spells out specifically when he wants us to do parking counts on street, just to verify that there is enough to absorb what I don't think will actually occur, but to make sure that there is enough to absorb any additional parking. We did our counts on Tuesday, October 29th and Wednesday, October 30th from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, November 2nd, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, November 3rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we got a lot of parking data. We've also done other projects in this area and have that data, and the results are fairly similar. Certainly parking is at a premium. About 80% of the spaces are occupied of the on-street spaces, but in terms of actual numbers, we found the minimum instantaneous demand and walking distance here is 49 available parking spaces. And again, technically our shortfall of parking is either 14 or 21, depending if you go by bedrooms or by units, but realistically, it would be a small number. Certainly a prospective tenant coming to rent here when all the parking spaces are taken is going to know they're not going to get a parking space. And if they really need their car, this probably isn't going to work for them. The idea is to gear this towards the commuters. There's ample mass transit opportunities in the area. And that's the type of tenant that, we'd like to see here. But regardless, the on-street parking availability was there to accommodate any overflow. And that's really it. That's the summary of the report.
Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay, board, any questions or comments? Hearing none. Next witness.
All right. I'm not sure if my last witness is John McDonough or his partner. I'm not sure who's.
Yeah, Mr. Webster, I've tried to add him a couple times. He's on, but he's not responding to the request. Oh, maybe is it Alexander McLean?
Yes, it might be Alexander. Yes. I'm not sure if it's John or Alexander. I wasn't sure who we got.
Mr. McLean should be joining.
Surprise, I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
Good evening, Mr. McDonough. Do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give shall be truthful?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation for the record.
My name is John McDonough. I'm the project planner.
License current, sir?
My license is current and good standing, Mr. Chairman. Yes.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you.
John, I know you've done a plan and you've taken a look at this. Can you walk us through the variances that we need and provide the necessary proofs for the board, hopefully to find in our favor?
Sure thing. This is a good application. This is a good use of land from a planning standpoint. Notwithstanding the relief the applicant is seeking, as always, Ms. Gruhl has given the board a good list of things to think about with this application and a good relief list. The applicant has actually chiseled it down so that we're looking at relief that is relatively minimal in the overall context of what the applicant is proposing. Again, we're looking at redevelopment of a vacant lot, which is spot on with what both the redevelopment plan and the city master plan are looking for to revitalize and repurpose these underutilized, particularly corner lots in the community. 3 tax lots, in block 115, lot 21, 22, and 23. Just over 5,000 square feet, which is ideal for the type of development that the applicant is proposing before the board. 6 stories, you heard about the mixed use and the 30 units. We're here in the Lincoln Park redevelopment area, and we're landed at about 8 or so deviations from the redevelopment plan, but all the heavier controls here from the use and the bulk standpoint are met. Notably, building height complies. There is a step back deviation that the applicant is asking for relief on. The overall density, the setbacks comply, and you do have parking relief, but Mr. Perigori just gave the board the rationale for that. Perhaps most importantly is the relief for the step back above 40 feet, where the applicant is providing none. I think all we have to do is look at the surrounding land use context in terms of our neighborhood, and I'm just going to do a quick share screen here. So, and now I don't know if we need to mark this for the record, but it's a simple Google 3D bird's eye of the subject property,
Let's mark this A3.
A3 for the record, a vacant lot. Again, opposite a series of buildings on Washington Street that have absolutely no setback. So clearly the lack of a step back here can be relaxed because it's not breaking up any established neighborhood pattern, and this building will not stand out as significantly different than what already has manifested in the area. That's probably the main relief that the applicant is asking the board to move on. You have good predicate testimony from the witnesses before me as to the other relief. Insufficient glazing, 63.2%, where 70% is the minimum required, justified through the predicate of our architectural testimony. I just gave you the non-conforming height with respect to the setback. The parking comes through Mr. Perigori's testimony, where we have 6, whereas 30 would be required. Based on the availability of parking and transit in the area. It is a transit-rich area and amenitized area. Likewise, through architectural testimony, you heard about the bedroom size, which actually complies. It's the overall dimensions of the bedroom that does not comply, slightly off, but does meet building code. So we think the fact that the unit itself, the bedroom unit, is spacious, is adequate to meet the planning intent of the ordinance. You heard about the number of EV spaces through both witnesses before me, deficient in that regard. The no separate pedestrian entrance in the parking garage, which we think is appropriate here, given the boutique scale of the development. You do have the lobby, which does connect to the garage, so we think the intent is met there as well. And then some dimensional relief, which really comes through the engineering testimony. The drive aisle width at 22 or 24 would be the minimum required, is adequate for structured parking, two-way flow. And then on the flip side, the fact that the garage door is at 20 feet and the driveway 20, where 24 would be the requirement. We have the deviation from the Lincoln Park redevelopment plan itself, which says 10 feet is the maximum that's allowed. So we think there's a reasonableness and appropriateness in terms of the relief that the applicant is seeking. And then I think the last relief we're looking for here is related to the drive aisle width at the number of trees, 0 versus 7. Given the physical limitations of the site and the contribution to the tree fund, we think relief is reasonable and appropriate here. All said, this application lands squarely on the positive side with respect to the flexible C balancing test, where the benefits of the application as a whole would substantially outweigh any detriments. We're looking at the advancement under the land use law of purpose A, the promotion of the general welfare with new housing stock to replenish the older housing stock here in the community. Purpose M, our planning goal for efficient use of land, taking underutilized land, revitalizing it and bringing it back to productive use. Purpose I, the promotion of a desirable visual environment. I heard at least one of the commissioners say it's a beautiful building, and it is. It will anchor and accentuate that corner. And then finally, with respect to purpose G, to provide for a variety of uses in appropriate locations according to the needs of all New Jersey citizens. This application will be subject to your IZO, and in that regard, will comply with the affordable housing obligations under a redevelopment agreement. All said, this is a good application. I believe relief can be granted without any substantially adverse impacts to the public or to the zone plan. The criteria are met and approval is warranted. That's all I have on direct, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay. Commissioners, questions or comments? Hearing none. Oh, Commissioner Baez.
Thank you, Chair. How many total units is actually in this development?
30. 30.
Is there 20% affordable housing, right?
Correct.
Thank you.
Board, any other questions or comments?
I have one question.
Co-chair with you.
I heard about the agreement with Lincoln Park Cultural Coast District. Can you just restate what the terms of that 30-year lease is?
Yeah, it's 30-year lease. It's $1 per year. And it's pretty straightforward. The space is, you know, we were meeting with the community groups and different folks, and they have a space already, but they didn't really have a kind of a street-facing space. And so they expressed some interest in it. My client has built a number of units, a number of projects in Newark, and he's a very good builder and a very good neighbor during his building, making sure that the neighbors are always taken care of. And he just believed that this would be a good partnership for him to have. He believed in the energy of the group and that they would help him attract tenants because they seem like a lively group. So he thought the investment of having kind of this community investment made sense for him and made sense for his asset. He liked the fact that they have a lot of people coming in and out of the building. He thought that would create traffic, and he just thinks it's overall great for his building and great for the neighborhood. So that's what's going on.
That's beautiful, and I wish other developers would take that same spirit to heart. Thank you.
It's getting there. It's getting there, Vice Chair. We're working on it.
They gotta hire El Nardo. All right, Madam Secretary, any persons from the public wishing to speak?
Yes, we have one. We have a couple.
Let's get them sworn in, Mr. Beck, as soon as they appear.
Good evening. Do you solemnly swear?
1 second, Mr. Beck.
I know, that's why I'm looking. Thank you.
Ms. Thompson, if you could come off of mute and turn your camera on to be sworn in.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Good
Thank
evening, Ms. Thompson. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the record.
Trinae Thompson, 2 Governor Street, Newark, New Jersey, 07102.
Thank you.
You have 3 minutes.
Thank you again for hearing me. I am just coming to the board to voice a concern. And the concern is for the traffic. The concern is for this traffic study and pattern that was done because the building picture plan has it looks like a 2-way street. One car is turned to the east, facing east, one is facing west. And we know nothing about there being a traffic change. None of that was communicated. Also, it's the way where the building has been put the roll top for the entrance to the garage. Why wasn't it considered for Washington Street instead of Governor Street as you are taking parking spaces from families who have property and are paying taxes here as well. So all good for the developer and all that, but how did we get to where we have seemed to not consider the families and the homes that are on the opposite side of Governor Street? Washington Street is a much bigger area and could have accommodated the garage entrance and exit more easier and simpler. Also, the traffic studies were done at times Saturday from 9 to 5. There's no traffic on Washington Street. So how can you do a traffic study when there's like no traffic? We have serious situations every Friday on this street with double parked cars from a mosque that is a block away. We cannot get any police activity to come and get people to move. Also, Governor Street is a permit parking only street. It is also hardly ever observed. How are we going to have the people who have bought permits from the city, and we have to pay for these permits every year? How are we going to have permit parking for places now that have been taken away? The other ask that I have on this, and I have not been on the Lincoln Park Cultural Advisory, Coastal, whatever board meetings, but this building towers double the size of any house that is currently planned in this neighborhood. How can we say that it's a good building? Yes, it looks pretty, but what are you doing to the people that are already in this area, which I am 10 feet away, 5 feet away from where you're about to put this property? Also, the third concern is the construction. How is that impacted? And I don't know if that's addressed on this call or not. I'll have a way to find out. My last ask is the board action. Is that the final action, or are we able to, maybe take legal terms or legal actions to try and, work with some of these variances?
Thank you, Ms. Thompson.
So I'm not, I think it still would have to go to the city council. Mr. Webster, correct me if I'm wrong.
The
Or
only
is this the final action?
So this is the final action from a land use standpoint.
Right.
We are going to the city council with respect to a financial agreement. So that's we're currently negotiating it, and that usually is bundled up, obviously, with the affirmative action piece and the inclusionary zoning piece. So all that kind of gets lumped together. But from a traffic standpoint, I think there's Mr. Paraguay's on. He can address the issues that she raised. I know we looked at Washington Street, and we did some of this analysis. Some of these issues were raised with the Lincoln Park Cultural Center folks when we had our meeting with them. Craig, I'm going to ask you just to address the traffic issue.
Yeah, sure. You meant we're not making Governor Street a two-way street. That rendering was just artist's depiction. Whoever did it probably didn't know that it was one way. So that's not changing. I saw that too when it came up. I said, oh boy, but it's staying as a one-way street. The access on Governor Street is preferable to the access on Washington Street. You generally want your driveways on the lower traffic streets, but while we are maybe losing one parking space on Governor Street, we're getting one back on Washington Street because there's a driveway to the vacant lot that's there now that's technically not parking. So there's no net change in the on-street parking. And then you mentioned that we did a traffic study on Saturday. We didn't. It was parking counts that we did, not traffic. The traffic would be 7 to 9 on a weekday, 4 to 6, but parking you want to look at a longer time period. I think that touched on everything.
Okay, so currently you're saying that the state road of I think Washington Street is a state or a county road or something, that area in the front is going to be, the yellow lines are going to be removed, and that's going to be a parking space now?
It could be. Yeah, it's a city street. It's not county, so it'll be up to the city to go do that. But yes, you'd be able to park there now. Those stripes are there.
So So it's not confirmed that we lose a space on Governor and gain a space on Washington. That's a proposal.
It's not something that we can do. It's not our street, but I would expect that once that driveway is gone, there's no reason to not allow the parking to be right there.
Okay, and is there anyone that can speak to why the driveway, oh, you're saying the driveway was put on Governor because it's less traffic?
Well, from a traffic standpoint, you want to put driveways on the quieter streets, the lower volume streets. That's better traffic design and better planning. From a practical perspective too, you want that street front, Washington Street's starting to get a lot of ground floor retail and we continue that streetscape. So you want to see that retail space, not a big garage door on the main drag. That's not necessarily
For
reason,
optics. Okay, optics. Okay, okay. Okay, and I think just my last, I don't know if that was answered. Is this like a final thing? Is there further action? Because I think maybe a couple things have not been communicated that we don't, quite understand there. Also, I didn't hear anything about the tax, and I don't know if I'm on the right call for that part, but what kind of tax relief or whatever this developer is gaining as well.
No, we have,
I mean,
we have, the planning board has nothing to do with that.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much for voicing your concern. Madam Secretary?
Yes,
Any other witness?
we have another.
Okay.
Good evening, Commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Smith. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Anthony Smith. I'm currently the Executive Director of Lincoln Park Coast Cultural District. We've been here for over 20 years, over 25 years, advocating for the community. I just want to just say that we're excited. This lot has been vacant for over 20 years. And there's been a lot of vacant lots in this area. And we're very excited for the opportunity to have more positive foot traffic in Lincoln Park. In addition to with the climate as it was, we were reduced to office space of only 650 square feet, and we're still impacting the community. We're looking to have more of a footprint in the community so that we can continue to having community meetings, job training, and all the things that we're doing in the community. So we were excited because it's not all the time that a developer comes to you asking you how they can support your mission and vision in the community. And I just think that was a very positive move for us. And we're excited to support this development wholeheartedly.
Thank you, sir. Madam Secretary, anybody else from the public wishing to speak?
Yes.
Hello. Aaron Donnelly.
Yes. Good evening. Do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give this board shall be truthful?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the record.
Aaron Donnelly, 452 Washington Street, Newark.
Thank you.
Couple of things. I am excited for new development. I'm a property owner here in Lincoln Park. I've been here for about 6 years now. And it is encouraging to see positive development coming into the community. I also do understand that, with change, change is not always smooth. It's not always easy. And it's, there's not always going to be perfect outcomes that work for everybody. And I can speak firsthand to that because right now we're very much living in a construction zone with all of the development that's going on right next door, right across the street. So I definitely hear, you know, fellow neighbors and the concerns, and I do think they're valid. But I am excited for the project, because I do think that it is a much better alternative to just the empty vacant lot that's been there. I think if it's going to, you know, help benefit, you know, the quality of life, property values here, I'm all for that. I like what I've heard about the developer's willingness, you know, to work with Lincoln Park Coast Cultural District. If that's not, you know, a relationship that is, you know, typically or traditionally, you know, nurtured with developers in our, you know, community organization. So that sounds like a great thing. I don't know if this is the forum, but, or if this is even something that has been discussed or is an idea yet, but the rents for these different units, is that something that's already been in discussion? Do we have an idea, you know, like what those rents would be, the market rates as well as the affordable units?
Mr. Webster?
Yeah, the market rate units are gonna be market rate. I mean, there are a number of built units in the area, and I'm sure we'll be price competitive. The rents, the affordable rents are set by HUD, and they represent 40%, 60%, and 80% respectively of the average median income. Those numbers are recalculated every year. So those numbers will be based upon that. It's a pretty standard program. I'm not exactly sure of what the market rate rents in Lincoln Park are. I know that there are a number of new and similar buildings that are in the market, so I presume that ours would be comparably priced.
Okay, and not sure if this was touched upon, my apologies if it was earlier in the presentation and I missed it, but in terms of a, you know, overall like project, you know, development timeline, do we have, you know, a view of that? Like, obviously, you know, some work is, you know, preliminarily at least started, but in terms of like the finished product, is there, you know, a projected completion date for this development?
Yeah, if everything goes according to plan, we would finish up our process with the city, probably in September, October. And we would be breaking ground, immediately, in that timeframe. And this developer takes about a year to build these buildings, not quite a year. So, probably by this time next year, the building would be starting to be ready to come to market. So he takes about a year, actually a little under a year, 9, 10 months. And he's built 4 of these buildings already in Newark. So we kind of have a track record. Yeah, we still have to, if we are successful this evening, we still have to go to city council and work through our tax situation. And if we are successful there, that usually takes 60 to 90 days. So my gut is that it's a 60 to 90 day process. So hopefully we'd be ready to break ground in early fall. And the trick is obviously you want to get most of the construction, the heavy in-ground construction in before it turns too cold. So that's the goal.
Okay. And then I wanted to just, and I'll be done in one moment. I wanted to just double back to the concern that the woman before me raised about the parking. And the comment that, you know, if something is taken away on Governor, then presumably something would be opened up on Washington. However, that is more of a city issue. I understand the concern about what the impact or the experience is for, you know, existing tenants, existing property owners. Is there some sort of, is there a contact or a connection or an ownership or some sort of responsibility that exists in partnership with the city to try and help mitigate some of these pain points that are expressed by the community? Because it is a real issue, you know, where if parking is going to be affected on Governor Street, you know, as a resident, especially as a property owner or someone paying taxes, you know, it doesn't feel good to just kind of be left with, well, you know, that the city has to be the one to take care of it. And that's just kind of it, right? So is there communication with the city, something that we could get confirmation that, okay, if we're taking away from here, we're going to provide here to try and balance out the scales. And then also at the point in which, you know, you do start breaking ground and heavy construction is underway, you know, having an active and effective partnership with the city so that when you have your heavy machinery and vehicles in the area that may also take up additional space on the side street or otherwise, that residents are given proper heads up and notice, because that also, from personal experience, you know, has a big impact on our ability, you know, and movement sometimes in and out of driveways, you know, taking our normal routes and whatnot. And I just say that from personal experience with, you know, existing ongoing construction. So I just wanted to put that forward as well, so that hopefully it's not something that just kind of comes up in the moment and is something that, you know, really like thoughtful planning and partnership is put into place beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I know you know, I've had some conversations in the last couple of weeks with folks in the community that are a little bit less than enthused about some of the means and methods for some of the other buildings that are being constructed in the area. So I'm aware of that situation. It's brought to my attention, and I've communicated that we have a developer that's built quite a bit in Newark, and we've never had a problem, and we've been able to kind of give references, if you will, for other community groups to say, yeah, they do a good job. So our means and methods will be worked out with the Department of Engineering and Traffic and the police department when we go to build. We don't anticipate being able to block Washington Street or Governor Street during the build. I'm sure that you know, it'll be there'll be some trucks backing up, and there'll be a little bit of dust. And that I don't know how to win on that. But this is a very community conscious developer. He lives in Newark. He's from Newark, grew up in Newark. I think it's a person who recognizes the value of community. And he has a number of other projects in the pipeline, so he wants to do a good job, so that people say good things about him, and people like you are willing next time to come out and say, yeah, he did a good job in our community. So I think it's the right kind of mix. I think it's a relatively small project, comparatively speaking. It's not 100 units. It's not, you know, 12 stories. I think it's the right size for these neighborhoods. And I think he's the right guy because he's a local guy from Newark, grew up in Newark, went to high school in Newark, and wants to do more in Newark. So I think that all those things are going to make it, I think, a relatively pleasant experience, or as pleasant as new construction can be.
Thank you. Thank you. That's your time.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Madam Secretary.
Seeing no one else, Chair.
In that case, I need a motion.
Move it. Second, Chair.
Moved by Commissioner Purdy, second by Commissioner Baez. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Timmons,
Yes.
Commissioner Baez,
Yes.
Commissioner Purdy,
Yes.
Commissioner Austin,
Not voting due to conflict of interest.
Co-Chair Witcher,
Yes.
Chair Richardson.
Yes, your application has been approved. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And on behalf of Mr. Ferrer, thank you very much.
Okay, let's move to CPB 25-41, which is 355-359 South 9th Street. Mr. Webster, floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, board members. My name is Leonardo Webster of Connell Foley. I represent 355 South 9th Street Holdings, owner of the property located at 355-359 South 9th Street. We're designated as Block 267, Lot 2601 in Newark tax map. The property is located in the R3 residential I-4 family zone. 355 South 9th Holdings LLC is before you this evening on an application seeking preliminary and final site plan approval for a minor subdivision of the existing lot 25.01, which measures 7,178 square feet and two separate tax lots. Proposed lot 2603, where the existing single-family attached townhome unit shall remain and will measure 3,573 square feet. Proposed lot 2601 shall measure 3,505 square feet, where the applicant proposes to construct a new 4-story dwelling with 3 parking spaces. We have a number of variances and waivers that we request, and we'll get into them, but they include side yard setback, rear yard setbacks, impervious coverage, building facade transparency, driveway width, parking front facade, and buffer area. I have a number of professionals with me this evening. I believe Ms. Evans' person has received our notice and it's appropriate. We've notified the newspaper and the neighbors within 200 feet, and we would hope that this board's jurisdiction is complete. I've received a number of letters from the town, a completeness review letter prepared by the board planner dated May 10th, 2025, an engineering review report dated July 24th, 2025, a planner's review report dated July 28th, 2025, a water and sewer memorandum dated August 4th, 2025, and a subdivision checklist and review dated August 1st, 2025. I have three witnesses this evening, Mr. Chairman. John Manillo is my engineer from Mantara Design. I believe he's presented to you before, and I would like to call him as my first witness.
Okay, before we do that, I want to recognize Commissioner Roundtree. Please continue, sir.
Councilwoman, good evening. John
Yes.
Manillo is my engineer, and I see he's got his hand raised already.
Thank you, Mr. Manil. Do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yeah.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation to this application.
Our legal name is Giovanni, Giovanni. Last name Manilio, Manilio. President of Mantara Design and the civil engineer on the project.
And is your license current, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. John, if you share your screen and let's orient the team to the parcel, and then let's walk them through the existing condition.
Yep. Just please verify when you guys can see my screen.
We can see it.
Perfect. All right. So as stated by council, what I have here is an exhibit that's presenting tonight. It's titled 355, 359 South 9th Street, aerial exhibit with today's date. It's just an aerial of the general vicinity with the property highlighted in yellow. So the current property as it is today is known as Block 267, Lot 26.01. It's relatively rectangular in shape, about 70 feet wide along South 9th Street and about 102 feet deep, with a lot area of 7,176 square feet. Property is located in the R3 zone as shown here, but adjacent to the C2 zone, which is to the north of the property. Currently, the site consists of an attached dwelling that's attached with the property to the neighbor to the south, which appears to be part of an approval that was granted in the early 2000s and constructed in 2005, 2006. So that's the shared party wall between those two buildings. To the north is fire engine number 11. To the west, we do have multifamily and a church facility. And then to the east, we do have townhomes across the street on South 9th Street. I do want to note, and Mr. Trafficante had noted in his letter as well, per the survey, there's a couple of encroachments, one being the ornamental fence that's along South 9th Street for the existing development is within the right-of-way by 5 inches. As part of this application, we agree that we're going to move the ornamental fence back onto our property, so there's no encroachments into the city's right-of-way. There's also some encroachments with the party wall. So the party wall, when constructed, is not exactly in line with the property line that was subdivided back in the early 2000s. Again, that's a personal issue between the two property owners. There's both encroachments from one property to the other, and then the other vice versa. So again, that's more of a legal issue. And lastly, there's some overhead wires that go over our property. One of them goes over and crosses this corner right here to the firehouse. The applicant has no issues with that wire staying in place to serve the firehouse, as it's a beneficial use, and it has no effect on our development. Also, there's a small utility pole and wire, which seems to be either cable or telephone that serves the neighbor, and we're going to get that relocated, as that should be simple enough. Property is not located in a flood zone, and there's no other environmental constraints that we are aware of. Next, I'm going to turn to another exhibit. It's a colored rendition of the site plan entitled 355, 359 South 9th Street, site rendering. And I'm just going to go over the proposal as far as the project. So what's being proposed as part of the project is we're going to subdivide the lot into 2 lots, which is this dark line right here down the middle. Essentially, two conforming lots with lot area, lot width, and all the other bulk requirements as it goes for creating the lots. The lot on the, I think this is the south, is, we're going to call it 26.01111, is 3,646 square feet. The property to the, I'm sorry, the north is 3,505 square feet, 0.0 acres. As far as changes to the existing lot or the existing building and development, we're not proposing any changes there, with the exception there that we are required to put street trees or shade trees. Looks like there was one originally and it disappeared. I'm not sure where it went to, but it's going to go back, and then we need to add another one as well. So those are the changes that we're proposing to that lot. Most of the development is occurring on the new lot that we're creating, which is lot 26.012, which is subject to approval by the city surveyor and tax assessor. What's being proposed here is a 3-story, 4-family dwelling, shown in the dark brown, with first floor consists of 2 2-bedroom units, and then the second and third floor consists both of a 3-bedroom unit on both floors. Along the front of the proposed building, we are proposing a driveway to have 3 surface parking spaces, and we are asking for relief on the driveway curb cut of 24 feet where 10 feet is required. As this is a 4-family, we're not required to provide any EV parking spaces. Additionally, we do have a small stoop with stairs that come down to grade, and that serves access to both the second and third floors. Along the north side of the building, we are proposing a walkway, a 3-foot walkway that leads to the back. And in the rear is where we have a refuse and recycling area that's going to be enclosed by a board-on-board fence. It has cans both for recycling and refuse, and we'll also have mechanical equipment back there as well. As far as landscaping, we are proposing 2 on-site trees, which complies with the ordinance, and 1 shade tree as well, for a total of 3 shade trees for the development. Stormwater is being handled by 2 dry wells underneath the driveway. That complies with the city's ordinance and obviously subject to review by the city engineer and water and sewer. Lighting, it consists of building-mounted LED light fixtures. For the most part, it's fully conforming. There was some noted minor non-conformance to the ordinance, both in the board planner and board engineer's report regarding lighting in the right-of-way, which we will comply with and make that compliant. And then the only one that I don't think we're going to be able to comply with is the lighting along the property line between the new subdivision line that we're creating. 0.6 foot candles is being proposed, where 0.5 is permitted. Again, it's a minor deviation. And again, it's at the property line that we are creating as part of this subdivision. So it has no effect on any other neighbors. I do want to know, I believe the board planner had mentioned something about micro-mobility spaces. We don't propose any micro-mobility spaces. We can provide 2 bike spaces if required, but I believe the requirement is for multifamily. And per the ordinance, multifamily is defined as 5 units or more. But if the board or the board planner feels strongly, there is room to add 2 more or 2 bike spaces in the rear. The only thing that would do is increase the impervious by about 35 square feet for the bike racks and the little turnaround area. As far as conformance, I'll start with the existing developed portion, which is being subdivided, which is 26.011. We are asking for 1 new variance on a side yard.
I believe we have everyone now.
0 feet is permitted when you have a shared party wall, or 3 feet is required if you don't have a party wall. In this case, we don't have a party wall on the north side, and we're proposing a 0.4 foot setback, where 3 feet is required. I do want to note, per building code, we do have the 3-foot separation to the new building, so that should be okay. As far as new lot 26.012, we are asking for some relief. 1 being rear yard, so rear yard of 30.6 is required, shown right here, where a rear yard of 15.8 is being proposed. Impervious coverage, 70% is permitted per code. Per our current application, 82.7% is being proposed. And if we do add the two bike racks, the impervious would go up to 83.6%. I do want to note that we can handle the stormwater, increase in stormwater by the dry wells for the increase in impervious. And also want to note that the two lots combined do comply with the impervious if you treat them as a whole. As mentioned earlier, we are asking for relief on the driveway width. 24 feet is being proposed, where 10 feet is permitted, and that's to provide turning movements for the 3 parking spaces. Additionally, parking is being proposed in front of the building or dwelling where parking is not permitted. There is a requirement for a buffer between a residential and non-residential. In this case, would be the fire station to the north. We do not propose any landscaping as far as a buffer to the north, but we are proposing a ornamental fence on the north side, which I believe is compliant with the city's ordinance in lieu of a landscape buffer. And lastly, as mentioned earlier as well, we are still requesting the relief on the 0.6 foot candle versus the 0.5 foot candle at the common property line that we are creating. And that concludes my testimony.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions or comments?
Chair, if I may, before Charlie asks his question, Mr. Webster, can we mark these two exhibits? Exhibit A1 as the aerial exhibit and Exhibit A2 as the site rendering.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Trafficante, you're still on the oath, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Manilio,
Yes, sir.
quick question, couple questions. Since this is a minor subdivision, would your client be willing to, as a condition of approval, recommended condition of approval to the board, to fix any curbs or sidewalks in front of, I guess, that lot on the left, what's that, 26.012, that are on conformance with city standards?
That is correct, sir. Yes, we will comply with any damaged concrete or curbing, and obviously there's going to be some work done there for the new shade trees as well.
Not just damage, anything's not in accordance with city standards. 6-inch curb height, all right, more than 2% cross slope, things like that.
I don't know if I have an option, Mr. Trafficante, so I'm going to say yes.
All right. And how does your client feel about planting 2 trees in the backyard of that 26012 like he did in 26011?
So not shown here, Mr. Trafficante, but there is actually a large tree right here in the front yard.
Okay.
So I think we do comply with the I think 3 are required for the total development. So if we have 2 there plus the one that's existing, I think we comply with the on-site trees.
All right. Do you need 2 per lot on site?
2 per lot? I thought isn't it based on the frontage?
Well, yeah, for every 25 feet of frontage. So, but you showed 2 on the lot on the right, and they're almost the same width, right?
If another one is required by ordinance, I have no issues adding a tree, but I believe you take the development as a whole. So we have 70 feet divided by 25 is 3 trees required on site.
Oh, all right. Well, you got 35 and change in front, 3573 in front one. Yeah. Right. All right. Last but not least, do you need relief from the city ordinance for that existing driveway? Right? If that house on the left, is that a 1-family, 2-family, that existing?
It's a 1 family, I believe, and yes, so that driveway is approximately 20 feet in width currently.
And that would need relief from the city ordinance, even though it's an existing condition?
Technically, yes.
All right, so you're gonna have to ask for that as well, right?
So we are asking for relief on the existing driveway for lot,
As well,
proposed lot
not just the-
26.001.
Not just the new driveway, but the existing. All right.
Correct, sir.
All right, and last question, is there? Okay. I guess, yeah, oh, to clarify, that party wall that encroaches over the common side yard property line between lot 2601 and adjoining lot 2602 to the south. That is to remain, is there any approvals or easements granted to the adjoining,
Not that I'm aware of. There's no easements or grants that are in place. It looks like it was a construction issue. Obviously it's not built 100% per the plans. But like I said, it's It goes both ways. So 26.011 encroaches on 26.02 and vice versa. So I'll it's above my pay grade. I'll leave it to the legal team.
All right. All right. And I guess, I don't know, last question, I know it's only a tenth of a foot candle. Is there any hoods or shields you could put on the wall mounted light fixtures on the new house to reduce the spillage across the common property line from 0.6 down to 0.5? Foot candles?
I'll make it work, Mr. Trafficante. And when there's a
All right.
will, there's a way.
All right, so you don't need relief for exceeding the maximum at the common property line then?
I'll take that off the table.
All right, sir. No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, questions or comments? For Mr. Manilio. Hearing none, next witness.
Mr. Chairman, my next witness is Anwar Al-Khatib. He is my architect.
Do we see him?
He should be joining us now.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, good evening. Do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation for the record.
My name is Anwar Al-Khatib, Anwar Alkhatib.
Mr. Al-Khatib, would you please provide the board with the benefit of your education and training?
Sure. I'm a registered architect in the state of New Jersey since 2012. My license is current, and I appeared in different boards in the state of New Jersey, including Newark. So this is, I think, my third time I come to the planning board of the state of Newark, and my license is current as now.
I thought you'd done some stuff with me in the past. Mr. Chairman, I'm offering Mr. Al-Khatib as an expert in.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue, sir.
Thank you.
Anwar, you joined a really nice building. If you could just walk the board, share your screen, and just walk us through your plan.
Okay. I'm presenting today 3 slides for this presentation. So the first 2 slides will be the floor plan that were submitted as part of the application. The first one is called A-01, which is the architectural floor plans that were submitted as part of the application dated November 1st, 2024. And I believe that's the same plans that the board right now have. This presentation shows the floor plan for the proposed building on the subdivided lot. We're proposing to construct a 3-story building with 2 apartments on the first floor, and the third apartment and the 4th apartment, each one on the upper floors. So looking at the left portion of the drawing, you have the ground floor, which you see here, we can just see that this is the driveway that was described on the civil engineering plans, which will house 3 parking spaces. Then we have a staircase that take us to the upper 2nd floor. On the ground floor, we have 2 apartments. They were accessible from the side yard. So we have apartment number 1, which is unit number 1, called here as a 2-bedroom unit, about 809 square feet. That unit is accessible from the side. It has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, washer and dryer, and an HVAC unit to support it. Continuing on the same side yard, we access the 2nd apartment on the ground floor, also the 2-bedroom unit, about 809 square feet. Similar to unit number 1, has 2 bedrooms with 2 bathrooms and its own washer and dryer and heating and cooling system, which is an HVAC. The second portion of the sheet, you see the 2nd floor, which is accessible from the front yard through the staircase located next to the driveway. That takes us to the 1st apartment on the 2nd floor, which is basically 1 unit. And that unit is a 3-bedroom unit, about 1,300 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, washer and dryer, and also heating and cooling system. This unit, since the 2nd floor is a little bit smaller than the 1st floor, because the 2nd floor is set back about 18 feet on the rear yard from the 1st floor, that created a balcony condition or a terrace condition that be used for this apartment on the 2nd floor. So this apartment now has an access to that terrace from bedroom number 2 and from the master bedroom. Moving up to the 3rd floor, which is using the staircase which is shared between the apartment number 2 and apartment number 3. It's a typical identical apartment for apartment number 2, with the exception that this unit does not have an access to a balcony or to a terrace, but still have three bedrooms with 2 bathrooms, similar size, about 1,300 square feet, and has own heating and cooling system with a washer and dryer. The second page that we have in this presentation is the elevations of the building. So as you can see from the left, I will start from the left portion of the sheet, which had the proposed front elevation. That will show that we have a 3-story building, mostly covered with brick material on the front, and we have a hardy board on the overhang portion of the second floor. We're using vinyl windows, and we have a residential look roof with a pitch roof and asphalt shingles. The side elevation, it's residential elevation, very similar to residential elevations on the neighborhood, which we have a vinyl siding, same thing, aluminum windows, vinyl windows. And from that elevation, we can see the access to the ground floor apartments. This is apartment number 1, apartment number 2. And also from this elevation, we can see how the second floor is set back on the rear, creating the terrace for the second apartment on the second floor. The third elevation that we can see is the rear elevation. Also, clearly you can see the terrace is representing this elevation, which is serving the second floor apartment. And the look of the building is a typical residential building, vinyl siding, vinyl windows, and asphalt shingles roofing with a pitch roof. The other side elevations, it's a mirror for the other elevation that we see, except that this elevation doesn't have any access for the doors, because all the access from the other side. Same thing, vinyl siding, vinyl windows, and we have asphalt shingles for the roof. The building, the brick itself would be a brownish color with the very touches of like orange, between the orange and the brown. And also we have all the windows will be a white color with a vinyl material. The overhang portion shown at the ground floor will give you the fiber cement hardy board, which is a vertical orientation of the buttons of this kind of material. I will give you a more light color matching the color of the windows. The third slide I want to show would be the rendering for the building. It's more like accurate. Here we can see the building from the 2 sides. This rendering was not part of the application, so I want to mark it as an exhibit. So I don't know, do we have an exhibit number for this I can use?
We can mark it. We can mark it.
Okay.
A3.
Yes.
Okay, so it's exhibit A3. And that show the 2 sides of the front of the building. So that side we show it, we see earlier in the elevation, which is at the brick material and the fiber cement white color, vertical look. And from the sides we have the vinyl siding both ways of the building. This area which shows how the building is close to the firehouse, and from between the firehouse and the building, we have a walkway that give us access to the apartments on the side. This area is reserved for the parking. So the parking we have 3 parking spaces here. There's no doors that you interfere with the parking driveways. So we have all the access to the stair to the second floor, and from inside of this building, we go to the 3rd floor. So the brick color and the look of the building, it's not very different from what we have in the block. So you can say that this building architectural fit in the neighborhood. It will not look as big. It's very much similar to what we have as an adjacent building from the lot that we subdivided from. So you can say they complete each other, and they continue the visual harmony of the same block. So I think this would be a good fit for this application. And that's my testimony for this material.
I have no further questions for this witness, Mr. Chairman. I have one other witness this evening, our planner.
Okay, commissioners, questions or comments for the architect?
I have a question, Chair.
Co-chair with you.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Al-Katab, Can you let me know or let us know, is there a way to do that design without using a porch that is so tall or steep? I'm just looking at, we look at A3 and compare the porch on that house to the
Yes.
porch, the steps on your home.
Are you talking about this outdoor terrace on the second floor?
No, I'm not speaking about the terrace. I'm speaking about when you come into the front door. If you were to live in that second floor apartment, you're walking up 14 steps at least, I believe I counted.
Yes. So, what was your question about the
Is
access
there a way to create a similar design without so many steps? That's what I'm wondering.
without many steps to go up to the second floor? We need to
Without
have,
as many steps from the outside to reach the main door. So the concern is, right, if you are an owner or you're a renter and you're living in a home like that, right? You're walking up 14 steps with your groceries. You get injured, you walking up 14 steps, whereas compared, to other homes, they have actually they're more easily accessed. I'm just asking.
yeah, so I understand what you're saying. We have to go the 14 steps regardless. Maybe you're talking about like the design of the stairs is having a full flight, or maybe have like a divide that flight into two parts. So in that case, you can have a resting landing on it, because that's probably the easiest way to do it. But we have to have the 14 steps regardless if we have one flight or two flights. But what we can do, maybe we can push the step, put the steps a little bit to the front and create an intermediate landing. So in that case, will not be a straight shot going up to the second floor.
Co-chair?
That might be a solution. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. Probably that would be easier
That
for me,
seems
because
to be an
if you
obstacle.
go to the second floor, even if you go to the typical U stairs, you count 14 steps regardless, but you have an intermediate landing that gives you some rest going up to the second floor. We can create that rest here on the same stair, instead of having like the full run like this. If I go to the first floor, we can have an intermediate landing maybe somewhere here, and we just push the stair a little bit to the front. We have space that will give you an easier access to the second floor. I understand your concern, of course.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Commissioner, any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Next witness.
The last witness this evening is my planner. I think it's John McDonough. I'm not sure if it's someone else from his office, but I still see John there, so I think it might be him.
Mr. McLean just raised his hand, so I believe.
Okay, so maybe it's Mr. McLean. Okay, I wasn't sure who it was from his office tonight. Alexander's up, I guess.
Hi, good evening.
Alexander, how are you?
Do you
Doing
solemnly
well.
swear
Doing
testimony
sworn.
not to give this board is truthful?
How are you?
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation for the record.
Yes, my name is Alexander McLean, and I'm the project planner for this application.
Mr. McLean, would you please provide the board with the benefit of your education and training and indicate whether your license is in good standing?
Sure. Yes, so I hold a master's in city and regional planning from Rutgers University. I've been practicing planning for 10 years. I'm a member of the American Institute of Certified Planners and licensed by the State Board of Professional Planners. Yes, and my license is in good standing.
And you're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. McLean, I know you've heard the testimony of these prior two witnesses, which have laid the foundation. Would you please provide the board with your thoughts on how this plan can be approved by them without offending the zone plan?
Sure. So I'll just quickly go over some points here. So yes, we're talking about a single lot here that's seeking a subdivision here, and the development of a three-story four-family home with 3 parking spaces. The property is located in the city's R3 zoning district for 1 and 4 family homes. The property is largely in compliance with the city's R3 zoning requirements. including for lot area, lot width. So this is the lot being created through the subdivision is compliant to comply with building height, front yard setback, side yard setback, minimum lot area per dwelling, max building coverage, facade transparency on the south side and the rear side, orientation of the primary entrance, and minimum number of parking spaces where we provide one more than the minimum requirement here. We're looking for several variances related to the proposed subdivided property to the north, lot 26.012, for rear yard setback, max impervious surface, lot coverage, and facade transparency in the north side, parking space location, illumination levels, and max illumination of the of 0.5 foot candles at all other property lines. And then we are looking at one variance here for the proposed lot 26.011 here, where this side yard setback on the. So I'll just jump right into the proofs then. So this I think it's pretty clear that this property, the benefits outweigh any detriments for relief here, since this advances multiple purposes of the municipal land use law, particularly purpose A for the promotion of the general welfare with the addition of new housing units, and it contributes to the city's overall inventory with the master plan goal of 3,000 units by 2026. You heard the architect's testimony, and you got a chance to see the elevations and the drawings. So we are advancing purpose I for a desirable visual environment. I think it's clear that we also advance purpose M for efficient use of land. I believe, looking back at some of the street view data, it looks like the north side of the lot, it looks like it's been vacant for almost 20 years, again, kind of like the last application that we heard. So it's pretty clear that relief can be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without substantial impairment to the intent and purpose of the master plan or the zoning ordinance, as the proposed project is largely in compliance with the requirements for the R3 zoning district, and relief is de minimis, as we've heard from the professionals here. And the overall building is consistent with the existing character. So with that, I think it's pretty clear that that relief is warranted. It should be granted.
Thank you, sir. Board, any questions or comments? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from the public?
Seeing none at this time, Chair.
In that case, I need a motion.
So move.
Moved by Commissioner Timmons. There's a second. Second by Commissioner Purdy. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Scott Roundtree.
She called my name?
Yes.
Oh, God, I'm telling you,
Yes.
probably, yes, absolutely.
Commissioner Baez.
Yes.
Commissioner Purdy.
Yes.
Commissioner Timmons.
Yes.
Commissioner Austin.
Yes.
Co-Chair Witcher.
Yes.
Chair Richardson.
Yes, your application has been approved. Good luck. You're on mute, sir. You're talking, we see your lips moving, but we can't hear a single thing you're saying.
I said, thank you very much. I appreciate the consideration, so I can hop into another board and present. Susan, good to see you on this side of the Raritan. Dan, as always, thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You as well.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Good to see you,
All
sir.
right, let's move to CPB 25-28, which is 780 Sanford Ave. And that is Mr. Roosevelt Donat. There he is. I see him.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, municipal staff, and professionals. Attorney Roosevelt Donat appearing on behalf of 780 Sanford Avenue LLC in connection with property located at 780 Sanford Avenue, block 4089, lots 36, 37, 38. Tonight, applicant is before you in connection with property located in the C2 zone. The applicant proposes to erect a 6-story development encompassing 45 apartments, inclusive of residential units, amenities, and commercial space. Tonight, we have several C variances as well as preliminary final site plan approval that we're seeking. The property is a conditionally permitted use in the zone, and we meet both conditions. With that, Mr. Chair, we'd like to begin our presentation. We have 3 witnesses this evening.
Yes, sir. Let's get them sworn in.
I'd like to invite our project engineer, Mr. Dr. Bauman Zadner, please.
Good evening. Do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation to this application.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bauman Zadmer, spelled Izadmer. I am civil site engineer for this project. And I am with development engineering as a principal of the company.
Dr. Zadmer, for the benefit of the board, might you please provide your educational qualifications and state whether or not your licenses are current and in full effect?
My license is in current and in effect, and I have been before this board many times in the past 20 or so years.
Mr. Chair, we'd like to...
You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Dr. Zadman, might you please, for the benefit of the board, provide an overview of the site plan you prepared in connection with this application?
Sure. I'm going to share the site plan with you guys. Can everyone see the site plan?
Yes, it's rendered.
Okay. The site is located at the northeast corner of Sanford Avenue and Mount Vernon Place East. The site is 100 feet by 100 feet, so it's perfectly in a square property. It's on a commercial corridor as well as on a commercial residential street. The site is currently houses a mechanic shop with 2 bays and a carport, as well as a used car dealership, which is currently closed. So we are proposing basically to demolish the structures on the site and vacate the used car dealership and erect a 6-story mixed-use building, namely commercial residential. So the first floor will house roughly about 900 square foot commercial space, which will be available for rent. So either will be some sort of a retail. And then next to it will be a gym for the residential use, as well as a lobby leading to a mail room and elevator and stairwells to the upper floors. Also, the ground floor houses 19 parking spaces in the back with a 2-way driveway, access aisle, and driveway leading to Mount Vernon Place East. And the driveway is sufficiently distanced from the corner, so we meet that corner clearance of 25 feet. And the site not only has 19 parking spaces, but also meets the ADA requirements and EV chargers. So we are providing 4 EV chargers and 1 van accessible handicap space. We are proposing 3 trees on Sanford, which we can increase to 4. And also the site plan shows such triangle, which could be improved. Actually, it's not done correctly facing the westerly traffic on Mount Vernon. So if we correct that, we can also plant 2 trees on Mount Vernon Place East. So with all that, we are required to have 6 trees, so we can provide about 7 trees. So unfortunately, the site is 100% covered with the building on the ground floor because of the parking garage and the retail space and the gym and the common amenities. But on the higher floor, we are setting back the building by 15 feet from the easterly neighbors, residential neighbors. So every floor from second floor all the way to the roof will be set back 15 feet. So the site has zero offset or setbacks on the street fronts. There are two street fronts, therefore there is no rear yard. There are two side yards. So both have zero offsets that meets the requirement of the zone. And the site is 100% impervious and 100% covered by the garage and the first floor amenities. But on the top floors, as I said, it's sets back 15 feet. So basically 15%. So on the upper floors is 85% occupied. So there are 9 units on each floor with different mixes, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, as well as a studio. And on the top, on the roof, we are providing solar panels and a green roof and a lounge, amenities that are required by the conditional use. So we meet all the conditional uses on this property. And my colleagues will talk about the variances that we are seeking, as well as the architectural plans, the floor plans that that is going to accommodate this structure. There are unfortunately some misunderstanding about the variances that we are requesting. For example, the parking, we are meeting the parking requirements even though there is no parking required. The reason we are using 8 feet because that's the ADA compliance handicap space. So actually the parking is 16 feet by 18 feet. It's composed of 8 feet of actual parking space and 8 feet striped, handicap striped blue lines. And then we meet the aisle requirements is required to be 20 feet. We meet that. We meet the corner clearance. So we are asking for coverage variances, building coverage, as well as impervious coverage. The transparency, my colleague will talk about that. I'm not sure if, I think we meet all the requirements, but he will talk about it more. And then there was also a question by the board planner that we do not have access from the ground floor to the garage. We do have a side door next to the main garage door that provides access to a walkway which goes all the way to the back of the parking lot and accessible and is accessible to the trash enclosure as well as to the staircases, both the staircases and the lobby from the back. So we do meet that requirement as well. So that's all I have to say. And we are providing adequate lighting as is being attested by the planner. And we are providing required drainage system for the site. So all in all, we meet all the requirements that is required of a new development such as this one.
And Dr. Zadmer, for the benefit of the board, you have received the municipal reports issued by the engineering department, water and sewer, and planner, correct?
That's correct.
And we are able to comply with the reports as drafted.
That's correct. We will work with them to comply to the best of our knowledge.
Thank you very much. No further
Sure.
questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions or comments? Mr. Trafficante, you're still on the oath, sir. Floor is yours.
Thank you.
One question before you go on.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Commissioner Purdy.
Was there a meeting for the community for this putting for the to have this development done in the community?
Not on this particular application because we had a similar application before the zoning, but before the zone got changed. And yes, we had 2 community meetings on the same project.
Who you sent the information out to?
I'm sorry?
I live 2 blocks down, so I don't know who you sent it to.
Well, we had a Zoom invitation that happened.
How do you do that? I mean, how did it go out? I don't mean, how did
Well, our council basically contacted everybody within the 200 feet of the property. And also, I believe there was a notice also placed at the at the site, advising people of this community meeting.
So they agreed to a 6-story building they built there?
They had no objection back then.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, but they just wanted to have a buffer between this building and the residential. That's why we pushed the building back 15 feet.
Okay. All right, that's what you said. All right.
Mr. Trafficante, you're still on the sir.
Thank you. All right, Zamir. You are in receipt of the Department of Engineers report to the Planning Board dated July 30th, 2025.
Yes, I did.
Okay. On page 2, under item 3, survey, Roman numeral 3. Survey indicates 2 existing utility poles with overhead wires running to and from them located along the east property lines of the subject site, with 1 utility pole providing overhead service to adjoining lot 12, block 4089, located to the east. Applicant and property owner of the subject lot shall provide testimony to the board as to what overhead and/or underground utility easements exist for the benefit of adjoining lots within the subject property. Should none exist, applicant property owners of the subject lot shall provide additional testimony to the board as to the future disposition of these existing overhead utility lines that provide service to neighboring lot 12, block 4089, should the board approve this application. Can you address that question or provide testimony?
Sure. Mr. Trafficante, we agree with your observation. We will work with PAC&G and the property owners on the east side of the property, of the subject property, to address their concerns. So we will see what we can do to alleviate that issue.
Does that mean you're going to relocate them
Yes.
off the property or provide an easement?
I think we will remove it off the property because we have several options available to us, so that they could get their aerial basically connections from Mount Vernon Place East, or it could be done through other means. If we have to assess that with PSE&G.
So you agree to meet with the utility company, be it PSE&G, JCP&L, whoever, to discuss the relocation and/or replacement of these overhead utility lines?
Yes, we will. And while we are on that subject, we will also relocate that pole, the utility pole, in front of the property on Sanford Avenue sidewalk to provide that 5-foot minimum sidewalk that is required by the city's ordinance.
All right. Next question. Again, the engineer's report to the board dated July 30th, page 2, item 4, demolition plan. Applicant shall provide testimony to the board as to how they intend to not disturb adjacent structures when they dig to construct foundations for the proposed building along the common north property line. Can you address that?
Sure. Of course, once the building, hopefully once this project is approved, then the project will go into resolution compliance phase, and after that it will go into design. So when we are designing the 6-story mixed-use building, we will also address the shoring of the neighboring building during the demolition and construction of the new building.
As a condition of approval, would your client be willing to have a statement of excavation prepared by your site engineer for your site contractor, who's a licensed professional engineer, submit statement of excavation as to means and methods? How do they plan to do this without undermining the adjoining property?
Sure, we are in agreement with your proposal.
So that's a yes, right?
That's a yes.
All right. Okay, last question. I believe you need 6 city shade trees based on the frontages you have along Sanford Avenue and Mount Vernon Place East, right?
That's correct.
And you show only 4, I think. Now,
Yeah, but as I testified, Mr. Trafficante, we will provide minimum 6, but most likely 7 shade trees on both frontages.
well, the problem I have with that is you obstruct line of sight. So I'm going to strongly recommend as a condition of approval, not only do you meet with the city arborist, but you meet with my office.
Sure.
See where we can put these trees. if you obstruct line of sight, you're gonna have to either relocate them to more than 35 feet on center or tree bank them. But
That's
you will-
correct.
You will not obstruct my line of sight.
We
For
agree,
full
yes.
movement. Full,
We will
full
work
movement, which means left or right out of your driveway on Mount Vernon Place East. Agreed?
Yes, we will work with your office as well as with the tree arborists to accommodate 6 trees. If not, we will contribute to the bank tree.
All right, but you will agree to meet with not just my office, but the city arborist as well. Fair?
Yes.
All right. No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Commissioners, questions or comments? Hearing none. Next witness.
Mr. Chair, we'd like to invite the project architect, Mr. George Fernandez, forward, please.
Hello?
We
Yes.
say,
Good evening. Do you solemnly swear the testimony about to give shall be truthful?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation for the record.
Jorge Fernandez, FERNANDES, registered architect, business address 75 Parkhurst Street, Newark, New Jersey.
Thank you.
is your license still current, sir?
Yes, it is.
You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Thank you.
Mr. Fernandez, for the benefit of the board, might you please describe the plans you've prepared in connection with this application?
Certainly. I'll start with the rendering. This is the proposed rendering. We have here a 6-story building with a frontage on Sanford Avenue and also a secondary frontage on Mount Vernon Place where the garage is located. The main lobby entrance would be on Sanford. We will have a commercial space on the corner, and the upstairs will be predominantly residential. And we do have a rooftop amenity area, which I'll show in my plans. This is the materials. We have brick masonry as the predominant material. We have a salmon brick as well as a brown brick. And then we have composite detailing on the corner and also along the facade on both Sanford and Mount Vernon Place. I'll stop sharing the rendering and start sharing the floor plans. So here is the floor plans of the building. We have the first floor plan, which my colleague has described, but I'll just get into the lobby area where you have the entrance off of Sanford. To your left, you have a mailroom and a meeting room that is an amenity for the tenants of the building. Behind that, there's some mechanical space. To the right of that, we have a gym amenity also available to the tenants. We have an elevator from the lobby and access to one of the stairs. And of course, access to the parking area in the back where we have the parking spaces as well as the bicycle parking area. There is also a trash area in the back that's accessible via the garage. I believe on pickup days, the trash will be taken out through the garage door. On the corner of Sanford and Mount Vernon, we have 904 square feet of commercial space with entrance on Sanford. I don't believe that there's a tenant lined up for this building yet, but once it's up, I'm pretty sure you'll have no problem getting filled. The second floor plan, we have here 9 units where we have 1 studio apartment and 4 one-bedrooms, 4 two-bedrooms. The building, we have decided to step it back at the rear to allow for more privacy for the neighbors on the opposite lots on this rear lot line. And in doing so, we've provided some outdoor patio areas, private patio areas for the occupants of these apartments in the rear. For instance, we have here on the corner
a 2-bedroom apartment, 900 square feet. The bedrooms are 11 by 11. And we have the kitchen and living space with a sliding door that opens up to a patio in the rear. That's 337 square feet. Again, the building goes from the second floor up 14 foot 11 from the rear wall. And I believe that there's another 5 feet from that rear wall to the rear property line. So you're talking almost 20 feet of separation between the windows of the of our building in the rear and the rear property line. Going into the other apartment types, we have a studio apartment, 500 square feet. Again, with the handicap accessible bathroom, kitchen. We have a sleeping area with the window and a closet. We have a mechanical room, even in the studio, for the laundry. So every apartment has its own laundry inside the closet. We have also a large 1-bedroom at 830 square feet, where you have a bedroom, living area, and we have a office area that opens up into the patio. Now, we've shown doors here because we feel that it can be used as an office for somebody to work during the day, but it could also be used as a larger living room that opens into that outdoor patio. That is why it doesn't have a closet, and it has the double French doors that gives the occupant the ability to choose how he wants to use that space. We have another 1-bedroom, 830 square feet. That's roughly the same layout, and a 2-bedroom, 935 square feet, overlooking Mount Vernon Place. And that also has its own outdoor patio area. Now, going to the front, we have a 2-bedroom, 900 square feet, 1-bedroom, 700 square feet, another 1-bedroom at 800 square feet, and finally a 2-bedroom at 1,015 square feet. There's an elevator, of course, and a trash chute for the use of the tenants. The second through 6 floors are identical in layout. The only difference, of course, being the outdoor amenity area available to the tenants of that second floor rear. So every floor has 9 units, as I just described. Then the roof area, we're going to have the elevator lobby and the 2 stairs that gives access to a 3,881 rooftop deck amenity, where you would have lounge and areas for the residents. And of course, this would be managed by the property owner as to what times this space can be used, preferably not in late nights and during the day and during the earlier part of the evening. And again, we try to have that amenity area face Sanford Avenue towards the front of the building, and we're leaving another 4,000 square feet of green roof and also 600 square feet of solar panels in the rear to once again separate the rooftop deck amenity area from the neighbors on the opposite side from their backyards. That is essentially the plans. I have here the elevations, very similar to what I had in my rendering. We can go over the glazing requirements. I mean, I believe that the ground floor area is required to have 60% of glazing. I believe we can comply with that on this Sanford Avenue elevation. We cannot comply with it, however, on the Mount Vernon, because we do have the garage. And on the upper floors, we have a 35% glazing requirement. We are providing 35% in glazing, where I believe 40% is required, both on Sanford and Mount Vernon. and we are shy of that. We're at 35 on Sanford and 24 on Vernon. The rear elevation, I believe the requirement is for 20%. We're providing 16%. I believe that 20% can be achieved, given that we'll be using sliding glass doors, and we can also add transom components to these windows and achieve the 20% requirement on that rear elevation. The side elevation is at 1%, but that side is on the property line, and therefore, because of code requirements, we cannot provide any more windows than what we are showing. And this area here that we are showing windows is a court that goes into the building. So that's the only place where we can actually have windows. The remainder of the elevation is on the property line and cannot have any windows per code. So that's why we're at 1%. And this area will also be finished with brick all the way up from the ground to the upper floor. And that's my architectural testimony for this property. I'm open to any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Fernandez.
Commissioner, questions?
No further questions.
Hearing none, next witness.
One question, Chair.
Oh, yeah, Commissioner Austin.
Does the building have any green building features?
Yes. I just described it has a green roof.
Besides, in the apartments, like Energy Star appliances or?
Of course, Energy Star appliances will be installed. And of course, the apartment the windows and the apartment installation will be meeting code requirements that will further enhance the green capabilities of the building. Yeah, that's our intent.
And low flow water?
Yes, we can use low flow water toilets, tanks.
Thank you.
Commissioners, Commissioner Byers.
Yeah, Chair, thank you. I just like to, I'm gonna give it a comment. It looks beautiful. I like it, but it's a 45 unit, right? Why could we just brought at least couple 3-bedroom apartment? So I see studio, 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom. No 1 3-bedroom apartment. We got to consider as family in Newark. You understand? So this is the only concern I have. I don't know if that go to the architect or the engineer, but we need those 3 bedroom. I want you to know that we got big family in Newark and we need to look at them.
I mean, I can't really answer that. Could I have designed 3 bedrooms? Yes, but that's not the program I was given. That would definitely be a question for the owner.
Right. Well, that's fine. Just for the future, you don't know that we got a big family in Newark. We need those 3 bedrooms. But thank you for your answer.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, next witness.
Mr. Chair, we'd like to invite our board planner forward. Mr. Alexander McLean.
Get him sworn in, Mr. Beck. I don't see him.
He just had his hand up. There he is. You're on mute, Mr. McLean.
Sorry about that. Good evening again, board.
You're muted, Dan.
Council, you're muted.
Dan, you're on mute.
Thank you. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be truthful?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and affiliation for the record.
Yes, my name is Alexander McLean, and I am the project planner for this application.
Thank you.
And no need to go through anything. You're accepted by the board. Please continue.
Mr. McLean, you're familiar with the plans that have been presented this evening, correct?
I am, yes.
As well as the zone plan in force at the site?
Yeah, yes.
Might you please provide your testimony regarding how this project can be approved without offending the zone plan?
Sure. All right, so yes, we're talking about 3 lots, lots 36, 37, 38 on block 4089. It's measuring approximately 10,000 square feet, located on the east side of Sanford Avenue and on the north side of Mount Vernon Place. And as mentioned earlier, the property's been improved with an existing one-story mechanic shop and carport. The site is located in the Lower Vailsburg neighborhood of the city. It's surrounded by a mix of uses, including looks like an office building to the north, adjacently to the property. It's a 4-story apartment building across Sanford Avenue. The Sunoco gas station across Mount Vernon Place. And some single family homes on the east side, to the east of the property. And applicants looking to demolish the existing structures on the site to facilitate the construction of this proposed 6-story mixed-use commercial building to provide for those 45 apartments, including 9 affordable units and 19 parking spaces. It's in the city C2 Community Commercial District and meets as noted by the project engineer, meets the conditional requirements for the zone. And as noted in the plans report, it complies with much of the district's requirements, including lot area, minimum lot width, maximum building height, front yard setback, one of the side yard setback requirements, minimum lot area per dwelling, or orientation of the primary entrance, and minimum parking, where 19 are proposed and none are required. However, the applicant is seeking several, which is a few variances, we'll see 2 variances. So this is including the side yard setback, max lot coverage for the building, and max impervious surface lot coverage, minimum building transparency, active ground floor requirement. As similar to the last application, I believe that the benefits of this application clearly outweigh any detriments. We're talking about, bringing this property to its highest and best use compared to the existing conditions of the site. It advances multiple purposes of the MLUL, obviously with purpose A, advancing the general welfare through the creation of not just additional units and advancing the city's goal of providing those 3,000 units by 2026 as called out in the master plan, but also the city's goal of affordable housing. Definitely purpose I for promoting a desirable visual environment for this area. Obviously, this is a very attractive building. It's different. It's a corner lot, so it has a lot of responsibility in terms of accentuating this area. And also purpose M for efficient use of land, since we are talking about a mixed-use property. So this again, it brings this property into its highest and best use. And I guess for those reasons too, it advances the negative criteria or obvious with respect to minimizing any or that relief can be granted without any detriment to the public good or impairing the zone master plan or the zoning ordinance, since it advances much of the goals of the city's master plan with respect to affordable housing and the city's housing policy in general. So with that, I believe that relief can be granted, and it meets the criteria as outlined in the state's land use law.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions or comments?
I have a question.
Co-chair with you.
Thank you, Chair. I do have some concerns, given that one of the schools I serve is actually right next door to this site. And I know that parking is a concern in that community. I'm wondering, and maybe this isn't a question, it's a statement. I'm surprised that the folks from Ivy Hill aren't on to present their concern, and I'll leave it there.
Commissioners, any other questions or comments?
No question, Chair. If we could just mark the rendering as Exhibit A1, Council.
Yes, Madam Secretary,
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Donat.
we'd like to enter that exhibit in as A1.
Are there any questions or comments from the public?
Yes, Chair. We have a few. Ronnie, if you could come off of mute and turn your camera on so you can be sworn in.
I'm trying to get my video to work. Please bear with me. Oh, it's not. Can you hear me? Oh,
We can hear you.
okay. I'm having trouble with my video camera is not working for some
Mr.
reason.
Beck, let's get us sworn in so we can move.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Beck.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes, sir.
Thank
And my
you.
right hand is up, I swear. My right hand is up.
That's okay. Please state your name and address for the record.
Veronica Jones, 343 Chapman Street in Newark, New Jersey, capital VERONICA, capital JONES. I am a resident of the West Ward. I've lived here for 23 years, and just to piggyback off of what Vice Chair, I believe her last name is Witcher, stated, and the other member, I believe he's a community member, Mr. Leon. Just a couple of things regarding transparency to the community. There has been this letter that the reason that I'm on this meeting is that I received a certified letter last Saturday, I want to say July the 26th, and it is the first one that I had received regarding this building. Now, Mr. Ernie's, the service station, has been sitting vacant since the father died. Like I said, I know this area well. I've been here for 23 years. I have very severe concerns about quality of life, and in listening to the architect and looking at the renderings, there isn't a lot of space. And there is a school, I believe it's a STEM school now. It started off as the middle school for Vailsburg. I have concerns about the quality of life. I have a corner property, and where this proposed building, the site where this building is to be built, my neighbor's yard, we both have corner houses across the street. With this privacy for the residents that currently live here, there doesn't seem to be enough space. In addition to the parking issue on Sanford Avenue and Mount Vernon Place, I just have serious concerns that the residents, because this is primarily a quiet area, residential area, we weren't given the opportunity until now to voice our concerns or just to really see. I mean, we're not standing in the way of progress. We don't want that. But we're speaking about 54 units with 19 parking spaces. Is that correct? Or
That's correct.
45 units. Is that correct?
Yes.
What will that then do? I'm sorry. Oh, Mr. McLean. What will that do to the already congestion that exists? Because we have the Sunoco gas station where people park. Then we have Mr. Ernesto's service station, and then the building that is directly across, well, I think it's 4 stories. I don't even know if they have private parking. So my concern is twofold, but primarily the fact that we as a community, we weren't given ample notice regarding construction of this site.
They have to meet the noticing requirements per the municipal land use law, and Mr. Janot can confirm that too.
Well, if you send out a notice, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So notices, and I totally understand that. So you met the noticing requirement, but what about the responses to see if the notices actually reach the respondents so that we can adequately respond? There's no requirement for that?
Well, that's what I'll let Roosevelt speak
If I
to
could,
Wait a
the
minute, hold on,
requirements
wait, wait.
that,
Who, when you start speaking, please let us know who's speaking for the record.
This is Ms.
Pardon me,
Jones. I
Mr. Chair.
apologize. And I'm
Pardon
still
me.
trying to get my video to work.
No, not you, Ms. Jones. I was talking
Okay.
about the professionals.
Pardon me, Mr. Chair, counsel for the applicant. Notice was submitted in advance of the 10-day notice period. So notice was properly and timely dispatched.
Okay. So that answers my question. You just have to meet the requirement of
Yes.
sending out the notices, but not the responses.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. This is your opportunity to be able to respond and
Who's
for the record.
speaking?
I'm sorry.
Please no, you don't have to be sworn in, but if you just break in and start speaking, we don't know who it is, and we need to pick it up for the record. We need to know.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Just put your name, state your name, and then make your comment.
Okay. Yeah, this is Alex McLean, the project planner, and yeah, I was just answering your question here that this is as per the requirements of the board, this is your opportunity to respond, so that to answer your question about being able to respond to any concerns that you may have for the record.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and with respect to the traffic, I think as mentioned before, and as I think the traffic and the engineer had mentioned before, they've met the there is no parking requirement for this site and for this zone. So no parking spaces are required, and they're providing 19 parking spaces to offset that. This site's also across the street from a bus station, so it's kind of the developers, the applicant is trying to encourage the use of mass transit. I think that's part of the point here too. That's part of why this site was attractive for this application.
This is Ms. Jones again. So the bus station, I believe, is by Ivy Hill Apartments. That's about 7 blocks up from where this proposed site is, actually. So that's 7 blocks up. I guess that's to the west. That's going towards Seton Hall. But in terms of quality of life for the residents, and like I said, progression is fine. We want to move the city forward. You were talking about 54 units with roughly or 45 units with about 45 families. What about the impact to the quality of life of the residents that live here of some 20 plus years? Is going to create, I believe, it's going to negatively impact our quality of life. And that's the best way that I can put it for that. Are there going to be additional meetings for the community to meet?
So this is, I don't believe that's true, and your 3 minutes is up.
Is up.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
No, you're very welcome. No, thank you for voicing your concerns. We appreciate you participating. Madam Secretary.
Yes. Oh.
Yes, we have a few more. Ms. Brown, if you could come off of mute and turn your camera on so you can be sworn in.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Dawn Blakewood Brown.
1 second,
I
ma'am.
have my hand up.
Go ahead.
Can you turn your camera on?
Oh, thought it was on. My apology.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
You're
Do you
welcome.
solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Dawn Blakewood Brown, and my residence is 326 Chapman Street, Newark, New Jersey, 07106. And I have several concerns. This was brought out, I received the first message about this on May 4th, 2023. And then they adjourned it because of the units and the height of this building. Because all of us got together, my apology, and was saying that it just takes away your privacy. This is the reason why I purchased my home over 8 years ago, because of the area, and I feel like with this high rise, then you're talking about a rooftop on top of that, it just takes away our privacy. You can look into our backyard. Of course, you're talking 19 parking spaces with 36 or 45 units. I'm not sure which, because it keep like it's switching back and forth. Because before they said, let's bring it back to the table, because they were saying that whoever presented this before, they didn't have the right amount of levels. So you're talking 19 parking spaces. No, everybody don't drive, but if you have a significant other and both of you drive, then you're going to have people parking, and it's just going to be congested. You can't find parking for your family or friends, acquaintances to come and park in your area as well. So I just think that, you know, there should have been some type of meeting with, you know, to base our concerns, because we are taxpayers, you know, and I think it's unfair to us. And what is going to be, is this going to be security 24 hours in this facility? You know, because that's going to be one of my concerns, because I'm out early in the morning.
I can't speak to the operations.
Who's talking?
I'm sorry, this is Alex McLean again. This is the planner. Sorry. Yeah, I can't speak to the operations of the actual building with respect to security. I don't know if the attorney has any information on that on behalf of the applicant.
I'm working to connect with the applicant, to counsel for the applicant. I'm working to connect with the applicant now. Mr. Chair, I just wanted to address 2 points. First, as noted previously in the C2 zone, parking is not a requirement. However, the owner applicant is proposing a project with 19 spaces. And if we could recall the project architect, just to talk about the setbacks on the building that provide for increased privacy to address Ms. Brown's concerns.
Mr. Fernandez? Yeah.
Hello?
Yep.
So, as I stated earlier, we're going to have a total of 15 feet from the rear windows of the apartments to the rear property line. So there's 15 feet of space there that will separate the upper floors of the building, the second, and because the ground floor, the parking doesn't have any windows opening onto that rear yard because it's on the property line. So there's no windows on that first floor level. The windows for this building at that rear area will only start on the second floor, and that's 15 feet away from that rear property line. So I think that will provide ample privacy for the rear yards of the neighboring properties. With regards to the height, I believe we're complying with the zoning ordinance, and this is exactly the kind of building that this zoning ordinance is asking for in this particular area.
All right. Next person from the
community. Yes, you just don't have a say so.
That was your time, man.
Mr. Shakir, if you could come off with me and turn your camera on.
Good evening. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be truthful?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the record.
Shakir McDougall, 67 Seymour Avenue.
Thank you.
May
I begin?
Yes, you have 3 minutes to speak. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. I'm a Newark resident, life Norker. I have friends who live in that area. I actually have a friend who lives in Richelieu. I think that development could be useful in this area, especially seeing as though the West Ward is starting to fill up even with more people. But I do hear the lady who just spoke before me, you know, her concerns about privacy. Privacy is a big thing with me. He didn't really sound convincing to her. So, you know, that's probably going to be a big issue for those people wanting to be able to know that they're safe. I don't know if this building is going to have cameras. Want to make sure that these cameras don't have purview into these people's houses or into their private spaces as well. I know Mr. McLean really doesn't have any answers about that, but there should be some assurances to the people, seeing as though a lot of them haven't had the opportunity to speak on this. And clearly a lot of the residents didn't know about this because I'm sure they would have been on this call. Um, as far as the building, I just would like to know like what kind of community benefits were agreed upon. I also understand that the gentleman said that parking spaces weren't weren't forced or they didn't have to put these parking spaces up. But as Newark residents, it's almost like a common sense thing. Like let's be thinking in common sense. Like we need parking. Parking is an issue. So I mean, you know, the benefit to this developer, I'm sure, is making money. I'm sure the city is only going to get so much in tax revenue, but you know, I really think that maybe they should go back to the table and have another meeting to meet with the residents so that there isn't a disdain for the property or disdain for the developers as you're moving forward. Also, I would like to know about the when you're going to be doing all of this developing, what kind of information or what kind of signage is going to be put up to let the residents know about, you know, when you're going to be taking over streets, parking spaces, to do all of this digging up, all this developing, because I'm sure that's going to have an impact on the residents who live around that area as well. So, you know, what kind of information or what kind of signage, what kind of information prior to you taking over parking spaces because you got to put the dump trucks or you got to put refuse vehicles or whatever that is. How is that going to look for the people that are clearly going to be impacted? Thank you.
Mr. Donat, somebody want to answer the man's question?
Mr. Chair, I'll jump. I'll start, Mr. McLean. Mr. Chair, with respect to coordination of construction at the site, we're going to be working and operating under whatever municipal ordinances are in place with respect to posting signs regarding taking up spaces. If we need to coordinate with Newark Parking Authority and or other officials within the town, we'll do that. That's as a condition of approval. Mr. McLean?
Yes, I just wanted to just respond to the Mr. McDougall's question regarding the uses. I just want to clarify that we're talking about 900 square feet of commercial space. I'm not I don't have any information regarding community space, but I guess the point is that it's activating that corridor here. So there aren't a ton of amenities, up on Sanford Avenue. So, you're providing some of the residents that are across the street from Sanford Avenue. You got that 4-story apartment building there. That commercial space would be able to service those residents in addition to the ones that would be occupying the new building. Yeah, that's that. In addition, so there's also the amenity space that the architect went over, which is obviously an internal amenity.
That's your time, sir. Thank you. Next.
We have one final member of the public, Ed. If you could come off of mute and turn your camera on so you can be sworn in.
Good
Yes,
evening.
hi.
Do you solemnly
Good evening.
swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this board shall be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Eid. My address is 10402 27th Ave Northwest, Gig Harbor, Washington. Hi, board. I am the project developer, and I wanted to get on the call to introduce myself. You guys might not know, but I've been in front of the zoning board twice already, both times for a 5-story and a 5.5-story project. This was back a couple of years ago before Newark approved it for, upzoned the ordinance. And we did our best to comply with everything that Newark has recommended. And I just want to, not to bore the board with anything, but I just want to say, my father bought this property about 25 years ago from another mechanic shop. And, at that time, Newark did not want to allow my father to run the mechanic shop because of how bad the previous owner was. So my father had to get, the community together and round support for him. And he's done nothing but prove that he's an outstanding guy. And he raised my brother and I, and he passed away in 2012 to run the business. And my brother and I believe, have done, a really great job providing a service to the community from the point where I would pick up charity cars, and bring them to the community and self-finance them to the community. I mean, we ran that business for 13 years together. And, everything we've done up to this point is to do our best, for the community. And we held two Zoom meetings back when we were doing the zoning, or, before we were, allowed to do this 6-story, we were trying to go to in front of the zoning board. We held 2 meetings in front of the community about this project, and we answered all the questions that they had, even in regards to the security cameras and how we would, manage the property and how it would be presented to everybody. And we answered all the questions. We even, if you look at our room sizes, even our room sizes are above average for Newark, for even the 1-bedroom, the studios, and the 2 bedrooms. And, we did everything we can. And I'm not here to try to say I can convince all of you to believe me, but I could say that my father raised my brother and I to do the best that we can. And everything that we do, we put thought into it, and we're not trying to do anything that any other developer wouldn't do. But if anything, we have an attachment to the property. So we have history with the property. This is almost 25 years, being on this location. So we're not some rich people that are just like, trying to make a quick buck. This is our decision was either we would sell this as a mechanic shop used car dealer again, and maybe risk the fact that somebody else would come in and mismanage it. But since the time that we've been there, we've done nothing but make sure that lot was super clean all the time. We've done everything that we can for that neighborhood, and all we're asking for is just so that we could do what somebody else is going to end up doing anyway. We've had so many calls of people wanting to do this and take it over from us. And we said, no, we want to do it our way. We want to present the project because we could be thoughtful about it. And I'm not saying I can convince all of you to believe me, but I'm just saying, like, I'm a regular guy. Like, I'm not just, I'm not somebody that's just hiding behind a name. Like, my brother and I have been trying to do this for 5 years. And all I'm asking is for the board to truly consider that I'm just a regular person, and I'm not trying to do anything behind the scenes and get you guys to think that I'm trying to sneak something in. This is just us, this is just us. So I plead with the board to really consider that we're just regular people that have been here. And some people said that they've lived here for how many years? The amount of time that we've owned this lot is the lifespan of how many, some of the residents that have been living in Newark. So we have just as much of thoughtful attentiveness to this project and the meaning behind it as the people that are living there. We wouldn't try to do anything to mess up the neighborhood. and that's all I want to say. And I hope that you guys really just consider that we're just regular people and we're not just some rich people living in New York that's trying to make a quick buck in Newark. We've provided a service to Newark and we want to continue to provide a service to Newark. And I just say to the board, please, consider us as regular people. Don't think that I'm just some guy, sitting in a penthouse somewhere. Like, I'm a regular guy of 4 kids. I'm 40 years old. We've worked hard. So I just ask the board to please consider, and any questions you have, we will do our best. We will do our best to make you guys happy. We're not here to try to get, ahead on anybody. So please, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Commissioner Byers, you got your hand up?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, the question is for the gentleman who just finished talking, Mr. Edie. I understand your concern and you're trying to look out for the community. But I asked one question before, why out of the 45 units, you didn't consider bringing at least 2 or 3-bedroom apartment? We have to look out for the big family also. And I also like to know if you're going to have a security guard 24/7 in there, how you going to be planning to run this project? How many security guard you're going to have it there at night, especially, and during the day?
Yes. So, okay. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. So during the time, yeah. So during the time that we've run the members there, and the police used to always come to us to give them footage and information based on, like, robberies or, like, accidents, and we would always provide that to them. So we will manage it the same way that we did when we were running the shop. We'll have an intercom system, 24/7 recording. We will do everything that we can to keep. I mean, this building is gonna make the neighborhood safer. I mean, I think the gas station across the street was, I think, one of the most robbed gas stations, I think, in all of New Jersey when they did the statistics, and it was always at night. So this building is going to provide a beacon of light to that area, so that people don't just think, oh, let's go rob this gas station again. And then on your question about the 3-bedroom, so okay. To be honest with you, the reason why we did not provide 3 bedrooms, I mean, I would think in my mind, if I had to explain it correctly, was because the way that we looked at the building was that we wanted to provide as much affordability to the people who are upstarting. So, like, if it was families that were up, because, like, families that are larger, usually would, especially coming from the Haitian community and the Caribbean community, which we were very familiar with. We serviced, my father had the whole Haitian community come to the shop. Like, we were very involved in the community. A lot of them tend to buy homes in the area. And I'm not saying that they don't want apartments. I'm just saying that, having smaller unit sizes allows upstart families to get in. And then from there, they can jumpstart into getting a home in the community, because, the community truly is a home-based community. This is just an apartment building to inspire other buildings around to be more competitive with us. And if people end up building homes around, that's fine, where the other vacant lots are. But, this was just an opportunity for us to provide that competitive nature to the other buildings that are not, maintaining themselves, so that they could step up, so that people understand that these are, starter areas to move up, So I guess that's how we were
not to
thinking
cut
about
you
it.
out, Mr. Edie, but you haven't asked me the question. I asked you if you're going to have a security guard and there at night during the day to go in and out for the people, to check out the people in and out.
Security guard, I'm sure we could provide a security guard. Yes. I mean, if that is going to be the deciding factor, we will provide a security guard. We will make it so that the building will have one.
You have to. I believe that it should be.
Yes.
Mentioned in the area of there.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, to be clear, counsel for the applicant, owner applicant does agree that as a condition of approval to provide security overnight at the site.
Understood.
Thank you.
Madam Secretary.
Seeing no more at this time, Chair.
In that case, I need a motion.
I'm moving the chair with the conditional security guard nighttime.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Baez, second by Commissioner Timmons. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Purdy,
No.
Commissioner Scott Roundtree,
You're on mute.
Lord, please forgive me for my phone.
There you go.
Yes.
yes. Commissioner Baez,
Yes.
Commissioner Timmons,
Yes.
Commissioner Austin,
No.
Co-Chair Richard, sorry,
No.
Chair Richardson.
No.
All right.
The application fails to adopt. You're on mute, sir.
Yes. I was trying to keep track of all the votes. So the motion carried.
No,
It did not.
No.
it did not.
So it was denied. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right. Let's move to, we have minutes
Yes.
from July 7th. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes? Are there any corrections, concerns? Hearing none. Need a motion to accept the minutes from July 7th.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Mr. Beck, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have a number of resolutions to be memorialized this evening. Number one, CPB 2210, 20-24 Branford Place. It was an extension. Number two, 2501, 348-370 Morris Avenue. 3 and 4, we're going to be holding those till the next meeting. There are some additional recommendations as it relates to the memorialization resolution. So we'll go to number 5, CPB 2535, 525-527 South 19th Street, CPB 2536, 529-531 South 19th Street, and lastly, CPB 2498, 383-385 South 10th Street. All those commissioners that voted affirmatively are permitted to memorialize same. Thank you.
And thank you, and have a good evening, everyone. Our next meeting is August 18th. Saw you guys, some of you at Lincoln Park. I saw some pictures from Lincoln Park. It was good to see you. It was good to see Commissioner Austin.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner.
August
taking care of
16th.
us.
August
Absolutely.
16th. August 16th, Orange Park. Weekway Park, September 6th.
Okay.
All right.
Are those announcements, Chair?
Oh, I was
Richardson?
just announcing it because we saw people at Lincoln Park. So, hey, this is some free entertainment and gathering in the city of Newark and the county of Essex. Come out, have a good time.
Can I please just say one thing, if it's okay, may I have permission? Please forgive me to my
No.
board members. Sometimes my surroundings are just crazy and I refuse not to be. So I'm listening, then I'm trying to hit the mute button. I'm trying to hit the off button and can't get it off. And then I had problems with my speaker on one phone. And so please forgive me. I will really try to do better because I'm honored to serve on this board. Not always the decisions are collective and in agreement, but that doesn't mean either one of us are wrong. It just means we saw things differently. So please forgive me for like, did you hear me? And I'm like, oh my God.
This time,
God
but no
bless
more.
you all.
Make sure you have enough minutes on your phone.
Listen, isn't that something? Isn't that something? And it's fully charged.
I vote for you. You can test me. I vote for you.
All right. Hey,
I
have
love
a
you
good
guys.
evening, everyone. Stay
God
safe
bless
out
you
there.
all.
Good night.
And we'll
God
see
bless
you
you.
August 18th.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Yes,
night.
sir.